And we're live.
Oh, that's right. He's not here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are live. And we're live, on a Thursday night coming to you. The Lonely Marks here to talk some wrestling, as always. JPO will be along shortly, but I am joined by my two other fellow Lonely Marks. Only in title, though. Only not in real life. Pez is living a wonderful life. Pez, how's it going?
Well, kind of. She's dealing with some stuff that I'm dealing with, but it's all right. But it's all good. No, it's more about her ex. It's being a pain in the ass. No, it's all good. We're amping up. We're getting to the heart of WrestleMania season. Only 2 more weeks of TV, so they finally amped things up this past week. I'm sure we'll kind of talk about it and move some things forward a little bit. I had a good time rewatching and making my notes for WrestleMania 21. We'll talk about it. 20 years ago today, and that was a good rewatch. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I may or may not be rewatching the main event in the background right now, only because WWE also uploaded the full match, and I've seen it like plenty of times. But why not? Richie, how's it going, sir?
Yeah, going good. I think my connection might be a little spotty, so I might have to go in and out here. But yeah, going all right. Looking forward to WrestleMania season kicking off here, and exciting time. And WrestleMania 21, good WrestleMania for the most part. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that through our chats tonight. I don't know what else to say to that through that end of that sentence. But yes, all good.
Excuse me. Of course, you would finish just as I have to burp.
Sure.
That's the way it goes. JPO is here.
Oh, he's here. Where? Oh, there he is.
And we're live.
All right, let's take it from the top, guys.
All right, take it from the top. All right.
What I missed?
Here we go. Okay.
What I missed?
JPO, how's it going?
We're live.
What? We're live. Doing just dandy here on a lovely Thursday. Is it bright out, Jacob? It's so bright.
The sun is still shining here. It's
okay.
It's only 7:00 where he is. Remember, because of the daylight savings, it's like still brighter later now. So he's still got some sunshine.
I just don't own curtains,
and
I can't reach up there to clean because I don't own a ladder.
I bought.
But we'll talk some WrestleMania. We'll talk some Dynasty. Also, they've got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I was just saying you didn't say that today, Pez.
I forgot. What do you want me to do?
I'm gonna try to save those graphics real quick. I hope that's not first.
Well, I gotta get a piece of paper and write down the damn predictions. So that's more work for me too. I forgot. What do you want me to do?
Well, I gotta sit here.
Yeah, I have to think about my
Richie, I'm sorry.
I forgot. It's throwing me off because they're doing that Sunday thing again. It's not Saturday, so it's throwing me off again. It's this Sunday.
I like how you blend in with the. Are you got your blankets on, or does your hoodie just blend in with your bed?
No, this is clothes.
Yeah, clothes. But they look like they blend in your bed sheets.
Oh yeah, actually that is true. This is a sheet, and it's very close to the shirt.
So
Those are 2 different things. Yeah, that is right.
You should just get a whole third thing and just get a Snuggie to go with it. It looks exactly like it, and then you'll have the whole thing.
This is soft. I'm gonna fall asleep.
All right.
Sorry. Gotcha. All right. Let me save those graphics. We're only at 9 matches. All right, good. There's no pre-show.
Only 9 so far.
Yeah. That must have bumped up in the last. What was I missing yesterday? Okay, maybe I didn't know about
Owen Hart.
Monet. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was at 8 yesterday. But no, I guess we're at 9 now.
But what was I gonna... Oh yeah, no, fantasy. We've got a couple weeks to update, but before we do, I would like to pose this question to the group. El Grande Americano or whatever because they're trying to play it up as if it's not Chad Gable. Do we care?
I mean, I know.
Well, yeah, no. What do you mean? We talked about this last week, Jacob. You weren't here. I get the points. What are you talking about?
He didn't care until he realized it was he had it on his draft board.
I might have spoken too soon, but in retrospect, we're already past this, Jacob. This is not a discussion. We can move on. Don't even have to talk about this anymore.
It is a discussion when the one who was not here is the one keeping track of your points.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. We're all good. We can move on.
He was, I mean, he was very adamant that nobody should get points for Grande Americano.
I was asking. Yeah. I said, should he? And everyone was like, yeah, it's fine. Who cares? That's what you guys said.
I don't recall that. I must have missed that part of the episode.
Yeah, it was there. So next topic. What are we talking about? What else talking about? What else?
All right, we'll give you the points. But if it turns out that El Grande Americano is not, I'm taking those points away.
It's Odyssey Jones the whole time.
He slimmed down and turned white.
That was just the last piece I needed before I finalized your points. It's just gonna add 10. It's not that big of a deal.
I want those things.
El Grande Americano sounds like a Starbucks order.
I'll take a Grande Americano, please.
You take
2 scoops of foam.
You take the L off of that, and it is a Starbucks order.
Yeah, that's the point. Is that it's like it's absurd. It's not. He's billed from the Gulf of America. It's absurd.
But anyways,
he lives in the Gulf of America, like on the water. It's ridiculous.
He lives in this. He just lives in the water.
Yeah.
But since there is 2 weeks to update, I'm not gonna go match by match because I also don't have those pulled up right now, and I just do things the way I want to. But good week for JPO. Last week, he ended up picking up 60 points, 10 for each for Liv, the Street Profits, and Chad Gable or El Grande Americano, and also this. Damian Priest, Liv Morgan, and Chad Gable, the Street Profits, picking up a main event title defense. Pez getting 20 points. What was that?
Jeez.
I was just saying, God knows that the person that needed a good week was JPO. He was so struggling.
Yeah, he knew he was doing horribly.
I was when this all started. I made a comeback.
Just wait, Richie. Yeah, Pez, you picked up 20. You got 5 for Jacob Fatu and 5 for Jade, and then 10. Got 10 there for Penta. Richie. Shinsuke was in the match, so there you go.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. I ended up picking up 65. I got the Braun Breaker main event win there. Drew was in the match. Lyra Valkyria defended her title, and then Jey Uso also had a victory. It was a tag team victory, but nobody's got Jimmy, unfortunately. I'm waiting for Jimmy to get picked up. I think he might be not now anymore, but before this, I was a little surprised that nobody was considering him at least.
I should have got him instead of damn Trick Williams because Trick's disappointing me. He's still not on the main roster. How is that possible? How is he not on the main roster yet?
He's about to win the title at Send and Deliver and won't be there for months.
I swear, if he doesn't show up the week after WrestleMania, I'm gonna have to drop him for somebody else. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. It's like he's having another thing with Obafemi. Like, haven't we already done that before? Like 3 times? Like, what are we doing? Just get him on the main roster already.
They're probably gonna. I reckon Obafemi is gonna be in the main roster before him at this point.
Theoretically, couldn't somebody right now, Jacob, pick up Ray Phoenix? He's debuting on Friday.
Yeah, since he's on the way. Yeah.
Hey, Jacob, can you send me my roster? What's my roster look like?
You don't need to worry about it.
You got plenty of points every week. You don't need to drop everybody.
You're on.
But I can always get more.
I'm gonna answer for you. You're fine. No change this week. Anyway.
What? Since you've been nice with Chad Gable, I'll be nice and I won't try to do that then.
Yeah. Good. Hold on. I might have to make a correction.
I was really thinking about it.
I do have to make a correction. I'm sorry. I forgot that you picked up Los Garza last week.
Yeah.
And they were in the main event against the Street Profits one of those weeks. So they got 10 points for you. You got 15 instead of 5.
And I'll cherish them.
Bumping you up another 10 points in your.
Well, Jacob, the one thing with yours, where the hell is Sheamus? He just dropped off the face of the earth.
I don't know. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be like a Mania return after Mania.
He was like on TV every week for a while, and then he's just like gone. Where'd he go?
If he doesn't come back after Mania, I have a plan.
Yeah.
He came back at a house show recently, so I was like, he must be healthy, but no.
Okay, maybe he was injured. Maybe he's working things out. Maybe they just don't have Mania plans for him. Unfortunately, we do still have 2 weeks though. So, I mean, we'll see. But so that was last week, week 12. The week 13, the week we're in right now. JPO picking up another 35, 10 for Gunther, destroying Jimmy Uso, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit more. The Street Profits got another victory. They don't show up until 3 weeks ago, and now they're racking up victories for you. And then you also got the Dominic Mysterio for the first time since the Royal Rumble, getting you some points. I believe it was him and Finn defeating Penta and Braun Breaker, unfortunately.
So Finn's on my roster, doesn't he?
Yeah. I'll get to yours. I'll get to yours.
Okay. All right. No, I get what you mean now. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. Just going team by team because I don't have the results pulled up.
Cool. No, you do.
Pez, you picked up 30 points this week. You got the Pentagon. Unfortunately, did lose, but the New Day picking up a victory. You had Pretty Deadly, unfortunately, on the losing end, but then Charlotte Flair on victorious. So.
It looks like she's going to have another match next week with BFAB, right? That's what it looks like.
I'm not sure. I can't.
She's facing like the 2 different people. I think she faced the one last week. She's facing, I think, BFAB this week or something. I don't know. She's going through a couple people before Tiffany.
And I think BFAB has a good chance of doing some. I couldn't even say it. I was even jokingly. She's not going to win.
And then Richie, you picked up the 10 points for Finn Balor, and then LA Knight, I believe it was a no contest or a double DQ or something like that. So unfortunately, just the 5 for being in the match, and then I picked up 25. I got the 5 for Braun. Unfortunately, not victorious, but Drew, however, was victorious. And then Rhea in the main event, but unfortunately ended in the double DQ because I think we all knew that was going to happen. They're just stretching it to get to that triple threat.
I think your boy Jacob too is going to be LA Knight.
That's what I'm, dude. I need WrestleMania to get here because I think I'm going to pick up some championships. I think and some wins because if John Cena wins the title, that's a main event big win. If Jacob Fatu has a U.S. title and wins that's a big win. I think CM Punk's going to win night 1, so that would be good and a good pay.
You have 2 of the 3 in that night 1.
Penta could win the IC title. That would be good as well. Like I could have a really strong Mania. Like my only drag right now is Trick, but like I wonder, have they talked about when they're going to do this draft that they keep talking about? Is that going to be like after Mania? Yeah, they keep talking about it, and I'd imagine if they did it, he might get called up in the draft. Like somebody would draft him.
Unless he wins a title at San Diego.
He can't win another title. I need him to. I thought he dropped the title so he could come to the main roster.
But maybe other people dropping the title so he can go to the main roster. Which would annoy me because I dropped it.
Yeah. And I've only got one. I've only got one move left. Like I made two good moves because I picked up Charlotte, which was a good move. Instead of Becky, and I picked up Pretty Deadly, who at least get on television lately because there's not much going on in the tag division. But like he's my drag right now, and the same thing with Roman Reigns. Like he just don't wrestle that much, so like he's gonna wrestle at Mania. So I want to keep him for Mania in a main event. But like after that, I might have to drop him. So I don't know. Like I gotta decide whether to drop Trick or Roman and pick up somebody that wrestles. Gets on TV.
If Seth Rollins wins that triple threat match, you're gonna be pissed.
Dude, yeah, because I got two people in that match, and if he's the one that wins, it's gonna suck.
I think of the three, I think Seth is the least likely to win.
Yeah,
unless they pull some big swerve. But
he's coming in.
No, Swerve's going to win the title this Sunday. Spoilers.
Okay. You got fingers crossed, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't
know. We'll get to that in just a little bit, though. But overall scores, Pez, you were sitting at 538.
How much more is everybody ahead of me? Even
Richie is sitting at 674.
Good, only 140 points. Excellent. All right. So it's like I could have the best WrestleMania. Let's say I get 100 points or 100, a lot. You know what I mean? Like because it's title wins, main events, whatever, and I'll still be like tied for third.
Title wins and main events are huge. So if you end up getting both of them with CM Punk and John Cena,
I think, and like I said, I got undercard guys that might pick up titles, and that's big too. So
and title wins.
Yeah, title wins.
Title defenses.
Jacob and Penta both have good chances of winning titles, so that's
and Charlotte.
And Charlotte, yeah, Charlotte. Jade could have a match and pick up a win. New Day could pick up the tag titles at Mania as well. It's looking like they might have a tag match at Mania, and they could pick up the titles, which I think they should, because you need a heel team right now. Nobody cares about the War Raiders. My God, they get no reaction.
That's unfortunate because they're great, but
nobody cares. Holy crap, does nobody care when they come out? It's just nothing.
Yeah, but man, if it's in, I mean, you've also got the second half of the year where I think we're all going to get frustrated because we'll have people on our AEW roster and then they will disappear.
Dude, AEW is going to be worse because we're going to be like, this person was on TV for a whole month and they disappeared for 3 months. What happened to them? It's so inconsistent, like with their who's on television from week to week. You can't tell, other than maybe like 5 to 10, main stars that show up a lot. Like, who knows with the undercard? You have no idea from week to week.
There are people who are just not been on TV for nearly a year. Wardlow.
Whoever ends up with Will Ospreay in that draft is going to be pretty happy. But yeah, I am sitting at 748, and then JPO a little bit of a lead at 805.
Wow.
But sorry, JP, I'm looking at your roster, and WrestleMania is going to suck for you. That's my hope anyway. But you could have a good backlash.
You will have people at. I mean, a lot of your people are going to have matches, JPO. I think a lot of them are going to be on the losing end. Yeah, but you'll at least have. I think most of the people on your roster, other than the Creeds, will at least have matches. So that's at least something. You'll still get points for people showing up.
And Creeds might have a match if
it's a multi-man thing.
Americano or Chad Gable is in a 6-man, it's a 6-man or something.
Yeah, who knows?
But you alluded to it, Pez. You've only got one roster move left. I assume you want to save it.
I mean, I'm tempted to pick up Rey Fenix because he's literally about to debut, and I think they'll push him like Penta. But the problem is I got people I don't want to drop Roman right before Mania because he's going to have a main event match at Mania. So that's big points. And now after Mania, who knows? Because he tends to not work for a long time and he might not even be on, stuff like Backlash. He might disappear for a while. And he just doesn't wrestle much in general. So I need somebody who wrestles consistently. And Trick, I guess they're waiting for this draft, whenever that is going to be. I don't know. I would assume he would get drafted, probably like our Carmelo Hayes did. So that's what I'm assuming. So yeah, if I make anything, it'll be after Mania. So No, nothing for now because I can't kill my third one just for no reason. I gotta wait till after Mania at least, then ride it out.
Richie, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I'm probably showing my hand too much here. But yeah, I'm waiting till after Mania until probably more people are due to come in. So,
We could see some debuts after Mania as well.
yeah.
I mean, they could be saving one of them. If they save Aleister Black, that could be on the one after Mania, SmackDown or Raw or whatever, right after Mania. They could be like one of the surprises.
Look at my and then look at my name on here. So just saying.
Sure.
And for my second roster move, I am dropping. No, I'm gonna hold off. Yeah, I am a little concerned, like the Sheamus, not showing up since he hasn't given me points since the Rumble. So yeah, between him and then Logan Paul's always iffy on how often he's gonna wrestle and show up. So thankfully I think I've got two left. I think I am also gonna wait until after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So and then JPO. I feel like I should say you don't get one because you're in first place by 50. But we gotta be
the better Mania time.
Yeah.
Are there any roster moves you want to make? Do you really need your
No.
I think you're coasting pretty well right now.
I'll leave for now.
Do you actually want to, or you just?
Did you actually need your roster?
I was thinking about that Phoenix one. Hell yeah! I mean, I think that's a smart move potentially, but I'll be good for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on. And that. Okay, yeah, I guess we will. Richie kind of brought it up. His name there. Apparently, Rusev has re-signed with the
Rusev Day again.
Rusev Day, yeah.
Just Rusev though. Apparently, not Lana though. I don't know if there is going to be plans to bring her back in, or if they're just going to bring Rusev in.
He's fine, Aiden English.
Yeah, Aiden English. Isn't he still on commentary with
TNA?
Yeah, he's still
yeah.
Yeah, so we could potentially
already have a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not that hard to go, hey, pop up on SmackDown every once in a while or whatever, Raw.
And that would be so cool, like the Raw or SmackDown after Mania. That's how they reintroduce him. Like
I'd say at the very least, like they totally should, unless they want to go like complete like monster bonkers with him. That should be his return.
Yeah,
you should just not be the best man. That was.
I think everyone knows that now.
Richie, this this is it's your middle name today apparently. So are you excited about Rusev returning?
Yes, I love Rusev, love Miro. Just battling with backyard workout. Love Rusev, love Miro. I think I don't think he's probably maybe better fit. Obviously, just couldn't get on creatively with AEW for whatever reason. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he could definitely, could be in the upper card here. I think it would have been cool to give him a title run before he hangs it up. I don't know if that's in the plans, but hell, if there's time, it would be cool to have him run it back with Cena, because he had a decent feud with him, but I didn't think that would happen. So why not? But yeah, I love Rusev. I think he's charismatic, really good wrestler. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. That's JPO. Thoughts on Rusev?
The question is whether he goes to SmackDown or Raw. Where he fits in. I mean, obviously he's one of those guys you can slide into kind of that upper mid card pretty quickly. Is he a main event guy? We'll see. Depends on how they push him. He has flirted with the main event, here and there in his past career. But he could easily fit in, in like a U.S. title or an Intercontinental title, area, on either show, something like that. So, and then be a nice addition to one of those. He's a good worker. I like watching him work. So we'll see, where he shows up. I mean, hopefully, we get some new life, breathe into both the rosters with Phoenix, with him, with Aleister Black, hopefully, imminently arriving. And then I guess, they might shake a few things up, at least with the draft, and maybe get some NXT people, officially Roxanne Perez. I know she's not officially on the main roster yet, but, that would, I would imagine she would get.
That's one that's more than likely going to happen.
That's what I mean. Like, but when they do that draft, she will probably be one that gets drafted. Same with Trick, hopefully, gets drafted. Someone maybe even Ethan Page. We can see people like that. Inject some new life. Where the hell is Ilya Dragunov? I need that dude to come back. I love that dude. Yeah. Hopefully he's back soon.
Apparently, a couple months, I think.
But I know, but he was like working out at the Performance Center recently, so hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. We'll see. Knowing that guy, he'll be back sooner rather than later. So hopefully, sometime post Mania, he'll be back. I just like watching that guy work. So I showed my girl Walter and Dragunov from NXT UK, and that with no crowd, like that singing match that they had where they beat the shit out of each other, and that was fun. I mean, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, he'd be a fine addition. He'll be motivated again to work. I'm sure he will if he comes back. And they'll actually use him properly.
Yeah, just a quick update on Dragunov. Although the latest I saw was that he wouldn't be back until September.
I had heard something more like June or July, though, but maybe that's a different report I saw. So hopefully sooner rather than that. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully like he can get ahead in recovery. But yeah, I think if he is September, it'll be a year since he's been injured. But yeah, JPO, go ahead.
No, I was just say I do love how, except for a couple NXT mentions, we're basically very excited for all of the AEW mid-carders in WWE. It's all Malachi Black, Rusev. Let's promote Ethan Page. How about that Brian Pillman Jr. guy? Like, it's just a lot of like AEW drop balls that we're really excited for. Who?
Ricky Saints we'll talk about soon.
Yeah, another one though. Like, just a lot of like AEW drop balls. Are like, hey, let's see if Drew Paul can run with it now. Sweet. I've always liked Rusev since his debut. I got to see him in an FCW. Originally, he would come out with like a 2x4 and he would write his opponent's name on it and then break it over his knee. And I think he only did it on TV like once or twice. That was his original like an old school gimmick. And I kind of want him without Lana at first. Let's just let him kill on his own. And who knows too if she wants back in, or they obviously did go through some trouble, so maybe they mix business with pleasure doesn't mix. Who knows? But I'm glad he's back. I think there's still potential there. I really wouldn't even mind too, as long as he's putting in the performances like he was not that long ago. Maybe even a world title run. I'm not against that at all.
Yeah, now that they got both titles, I don't believe they had both when he left. So
you mentioned like a Rusev versus like a Gunther or something like that. That'd be fun. That'd be a nice
meat.
Yeah, meat.
No, we got some new fresh matches. I mean Rusev. I'm Rusev, duh. But I mean Braun Breaker, another one. Yeah, hell yeah. Cody Rhodes and him could probably put on the fun, not big man match, but like a bigger, slightly smaller match. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did Rusev and Penta ever cross paths in AEW? Mm-hmm. Not a match I wouldn't mind.
They might have been there at the same time. I don't know if they worked each other.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. Yeah, you could have been in the company with each other for 2 or 3 years, and just the size of your roster, you're not in the ring with each other.
So Rusev wrestled. I'm actually looking it up here. Less than 40 times for AEW in his whole entire run from September of 2020 up until his last appearance in 2023. So about 3 years, less than 40 matches.
Jeez. Yeah, no wonder he wanted out.
And it looks not even in like a battle royal or multi-man. Never touched pass with Penta.
Okay.
But him and Andrade can feud again. That was his last AEW feud. Another one. Andrade.
It happens sometimes. Like, it took a while. Like, it wasn't until like later on in his WWE career that Jericho and Undertaker wrestled each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. No. I think it's also interesting that they're, keeping Rey Fenix and Penta apart for now. I wonder if they'll be drafted to the same brand. It's like, hey, let's just introduce Rey on his own, give him a couple weeks to shine, and then maybe we'll team them up again. Maybe that's what they want to do. I don't know.
See, I don't mind that. I think it's like, I obviously want to see them as Lucha Brothers eventually, and win the tag titles. But for now, it'd be cool if they're just like, you know, the Usos, where they're like, you know, they're separate, but like, and just tag when that's necessary.
They could just tag for special occasions. You know, if somebody needs a tag partner because of some person antagonizing them. Hey, I got the perfect guy. You know, and like on a pay per view, you know, they tag together as like a special attraction. You know, maybe not so much as like a regular thing, because I feel like as good as they are, the tag divisions on each show are not like the strongest with the crowds right now. You know, so I think they're getting more over as I think Penta's gotten more over as a singular act, and I think Phoenix could do the same thing. You know, as a singular guy, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not like they say they couldn't team up on a PLE. You know, at some point as like for something.
Yeah. GPO, you excited for the debut of Ray Phoenix?
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. Like you guys said too. I mean, 6 months to a year down the line, you know, if you want to even make them a full-time tag team for a little bit, totally down for that. If they just do it every once in a while, or if it's just for the first few months, who knows? But either way, they're both extremely talented, so you know you can use them in either way. AEW kind of did to a degree. You know, Phoenix had a very short reign with one of their singles titles, and Penta fought for a title here and there. So, however they want to use them, I'm down for it as long as they get used.
Right. Yeah. I wonder who he's going to go up against. I don't know if that was announced, or if he's even going to be, or if he's just going to show up and be like, "Oh, I'm here."
There was a rumor he was going to feud with Andrade. But
who's the SmackDown guy you put somebody up against for their debut match?
Carmelo Hayes.
I was about to say Carmelo Hayes is a good one.
Actually, being Andrade, Carmelo, maybe one of the Garzas. Yeah, there's good options.
Yeah, one of the LWO guys. Yeah, you can always throw in there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see how his debut goes tomorrow night. Are they back in the States?
Yeah, they're going to be.
I know on Monday they are.
Monday they are. I don't know about SmackDown.
No. This Friday they're back in Chicago SmackDown.
Okay.
So and my speculation is we might find out what the favor is with CM Punk. I would imagine. I don't think you do a SmackDown, even though he's a Raw guy. You don't do a show in Chicago right before WrestleMania, and CM Punk is not on that show. He will be on SmackDown.
I guarantee he kicks off the show.
That's what I mean. Like he comes out and he could even cut a pro or reveal what the thing is, and then if it's something that directly relates to the match, that would then give you a week and a half to get the fallout from whatever his favor is. You know what I mean? Before Mania, I think it would be a perfect chance to whatever he says it is, whether it's something involving Paul Heyman, whatever, something that bleeds into night 2, we don't know. But like you got to have a little bit of an aftermath period, you know, a Raw and a SmackDown, you know, after the fact, to deal with whatever it is, and I think that'd be a perfect chance. Yeah, it's Chicago, Minneapolis for Raw. I forget where SmackDown is the week after, and then the final Raw before Mania.
Next Friday, SmackDown is in Seattle.
Yeah, and then Sacramento. I believe Sacramento, California. They're back in California because they're in, obviously, or they're. Doing the thing for me. But yeah, I think it's Sacramento, I believe, which would be a good opportunity if they're in California for The Rock to show up. That's all I'm saying. Not too far, from LA.
I just found out that SmackDown's in Seattle on my birthday, and I can't even go.
Can't go?
Bullshit.
What are you going to be doing?
Not going to SmackDown. I don't. It's not that I just didn't. I don't have SmackDown ticket money, Richie. Okay.
Well, that's fair enough. I don't either. Especially
I'm just throwing this out there, Jacob. Just throwing this out there. Buy a couple less Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm. He wants you to sell.
Can you?
I didn't say sell what you had.
I don't have control. Can you mute him for me, Pez?
I'll do it for you.
Apparently,
Frogman.
I'm not sitting close enough to grab it this time, JP.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You're in a different spot.
I read that they only did the Europe, like one of the big reasons they even did the European, like the TV run was because like Cena's filming there, and it's just just a lot. Yeah, obviously it's just a lot
easier to get back and forth from like a European city than back and forth from another country or the US. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we should Speaking of Cena, I guess we should talk about him again. I guess he and Cody had an okay promo.
Yeah,
He's
bit
alright.
far.
He's alright.
Yeah. JPO, did you see the promo between Cena and Cody?
Yeah, no, definitely tuned into Raw. I always forget that it's early on those overseas ones, and now that I will remember, it doesn't matter because they're back to being in the United States. But no, I finally watched it late at night, and yeah, no, I mean more good stuff. Dudes, I've always said Cena is really good at selling his stuff on matches I've cared less about. He has sold me to actually care, so he's always one of my favorite mic guys. And I thought Cody gave it really well this week too. Like Cody actually sold me probably more than Cena did this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Like Cena is a heel, but the only thing different about his promos is now he's bad mouthing the fans because I feel like he would have said some of this to Cody. Like he's always been kind of a dick to his opponents because why wouldn't you be? And now he's just bad mouthing the fans and calling out kids.
Mhm.
But we'll see. I will see if The Rock gets involved again, and we'll see what happens there. Pez.
Yeah, no, it was a good back and forth. Yeah, I mentioned it right before we went live, but yeah, Cody pulled a B Rabbit from 8 Mile where he was like, "Oh, here's all the stuff you would say about me, anyways. I'll just get it out of the way. Yes, I used to be Stardust. You're facing Stardust at WrestleMania. Yes, I have a neck tattoo of my logo. All the stuff like it's the same stuff." B Rabbit did about Papa Doc and that, in 8 Mile. So, I'm sure, maybe he watched it that week. Who knows? Just got the idea. But yeah, good on him. Yeah. And they addressed that like, oh, basically the internet thinks you're going to cook me, Cena, but you're not going to cook me, So I like that it made, Cody look strong in the promo, wasn't backing down verbally and whatnot. Yeah, the nice indirect references to both Vince McMahon and Tony Khan in the promos because they talked about John Cena being a product of Vince, essentially. Like you're the complete thing of what Vince was looking for, without saying his name. And then Cena came back with the line about like, well, I built an empire for a billionaire. You just stole a billionaire son's money or something like that.
No, there you go. I build empires for billionaires. You just steal money from their kids.
From their kids, yeah. So it was a nice reference, like back and forth again, making acknowledging the AEW stuff. Because everybody knows about that. So yeah, it was a good back and forth, but Cody looking strong, hitting the crossroads, and which makes me think that over the next 2 weeks, something is coming to Cody again, much like last year, where he got beat up outside the bus. It's either going to be Rock doing something similar, or I know they've only advertised Cena for the European tour. Does not mean we can't get a Cena appearance. You know what I mean? Like I love how everybody's like, oh, he's only advertised for the 3. You don't think he can't just like show up on Raw and beat up Cody? Like
he's got to show up at least one more time before Mania.
That's what I mean. If that's all we get of Cena, that's kind of silly. Like leading up to it, and I'm not saying we couldn't get him one more time, but then also maybe one of them just be The Rock. Like we haven't seen The Rock at all. Like we got to see him before. Maybe we have to, So, and I feel like he's going to be involved in Mania somehow. Whether it's he inserts himself as an enforcer or something, not like a referee. I'd like to see him be just like an enforcer. I think that could work, just be ringside or something, or just be involved somehow. I think that will happen. So we'll see. But I would be shocked if we got nothing from Rock or Cena before Mania. That would kind of be silly. Cody can't carry this whole thing by himself. He's good, but that would be kind of stupid.
Yeah. Richie?
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the promos back and forth, and like I think they're both fantastic on the mic, and I think these I think like you said, Cody, gave as good as he got, and I think sort of you need that, even though if people in the master or anything probably seen as taking it from them, but you need that babyface fire, you need to kind of reason to believe like okay, maybe he could win, but I thought it was I thought it was really well done, but I think maybe it's probably time at this point to maybe ramp up the physicality, maybe go for what like the physicality, like obviously they did with the Crossroads, so maybe like I don't know what they do next week, but yeah, eventually Cena's got to at least like hit an attitude adjustment, or or be, get his revenge and beat the shit out of um, Cody at some point, and then maybe The Rock's getting involved. Just don't don't have Travis Scott involved, which they've been doing good with not having Travis Scott involved with that. Maybe they hopefully do the theme song, and that's about it. Speaking of theme song, the Weeknd's in the theme song for this movie, this WrestleMania again. It's like 2 in a row. Anyway, they really like that guy. But yeah, no, I think it's been going along very well. But I think it's time to sort of bring in The Rock, or get more sort of physical. I think because
they amped up the physicality on another feud, so now you can switch to Cody and Cena to amp up the physicality, because we did what we needed to do on a certain other feud with the Usos and Gunther. So and I mean, we can transition to that, Jacob. I assume you know what I mean.
I was gonna say I've been waiting for that pull apart brawl between Cena and Cody. Apparently, we just got that with Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, though. So I don't think you want to overdo it. Yeah. But that's my guy. Apparently, SmackDown security is better than Raw security, because as soon as Punk, Rollins, and Reigns started going at it, security was all over him. But Gunther zip ties Jey Uso to the ring rope and just beats the shit out of Jimmy, and nobody, they're not going to do anything. Come on, Raw, step your game up. I don't like the inconsistency.
They do have two separate general managers that maybe deal with it differently. There is Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, so maybe Adam Pearce just is losing control on Raw. That's what's happening right now.
And that's why, maybe how at the last pay-per-view where Randy Orton was about to kick Kevin Owens in the head, and then security stopped them. Maybe they're all smacked because they're both SmackDown.
I think it was Nick Aldis. If you remember, it was Nick and Jamie Noble and those guys.
It makes sense because they're SmackDown guys.
Yeah, they're SmackDown guys. So SmackDown has it under control. Adam Pearce needs to hire new security.
I will say I do think this is what the Gunther Jey Uso feud needed, because it was. They've been feuding since before January. It's been ongoing and just kind of been getting a little stale. And this definitely breathes new life into it. And I love what WWE is doing when it comes to blood, only using it when it's needed and when it matters the most. And I think this definitely that shot of him, choking out Jimmy and just the blood coming out. Oh.
Well, and then he stood up, and the way the blood was actually positioned on his body was perfect, because it was on his neck and chest, just the middle part. It was interesting, when he had him, up against him. So it was a nice visual of Gunther was covered, from the neck down with Jimmy's blood. It was a nice little visual. But it's what we needed. They needed to amp up the fire with this, and I mean, they've been playing around with Jay needs to find his motivation again. So it's a good way to do it. Yeah, as soon as we knew it was it's Gunther and Jimmy next week, I was he needs to beat the shit out of Jimmy bad. And I got worried for a second, because I was this can't be over, because Gunther ran away, but then they came back for break, and then they did the angle. I was oh, please don't let that be it, And then luckily, he came back and did the stuff, and I was oh, here we go. Okay, we're doing it. Good. All right, we'll get there.
Yeah,
and it worked out. So it's what they needed, man. And now Jay can cut some more fiery promos. You know what I mean? Gunther can cut some fiery promos as well, because you can go back to promos now that you've amped up the physicality and keep them apart until Mania now that you've amped that up, so that's fine. And then you can go back to promo work and then get the match. So that now it works.
And I think this is all but solidified for me that Jay's winning the title at WrestleMania. Unless he gets some comeuppance before and they go in on an even playing field. If they don't, if Jay doesn't win the title, it'll be a complete waste of a storyline, a complete waste of a Rumble win, in my opinion. But at least, the feud has definitely gotten a little more excited, in my opinion. JPO, are you a little more excited about the Gunther Jey Uso feud now?
A little bit, yeah. This was definitely one of the better ramp-ups of these two. I think I said last week, I kind of do wish Mania was early April again, because I do feel some stuff, and this is an example, was getting a little repetitive. You know what I mean? Because, again, We still got 2 more shows we got to fill out, and if you include, and if they double dip on Raw and SmackDown, that's 4 more. Like, you know what I mean? But this was a good, slightly more next level thing to where, I dug it.
Yeah, I think Jay should have teased his decision like a couple weeks long, maybe the show before or a couple shows before Elimination Chamber, because it was like what the next week he was like, all right, I'm coming after you, and it's like, all right, well, we still got like 6 weeks, so that's okay, cool. Yeah, Richie, are you excited a little bit more about this feud?
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of. I do think it's like weird. I mean, weird they talk about like motivation and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, Dave's got his motivation back. It's like, what wouldn't like winning the Royal Rumble and going to WrestleMania motivate you anyway? But like, that's definitely it. This is what it needed, and I think it's definitely got me more interested in the feud. I do concur with what Jaco said. I think it's like. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know what the date is for next year's WrestleMania, but hopefully it's I don't know if it's earlier, but that would be to their benefit because I think it's build up's been good, but it's just I feel like I'm ready for it to be WrestleMania now.
Yeah, and if they did it because next week it's April 11th and 12th,
so it's at least a week earlier than what it is this time.
And it's been on the 11th before because I've watched WrestleMania on my birthdays a few times. I enjoy that. It's a good way to spend a birthday. But I think, and didn't they say they like wanted it to get a little bit like it was something to do with the weather? And I'm like, but you're in a stadium.
You're in a dome in New Orleans next year. That doesn't matter next year.
Yeah, but like even this year though, like the Allegiant. It has a retractable roof, so like, why is that a problem?
It's still Vegas, still hot, but in theory, if it's hot in Vegas, you would want it earlier in the year, so it's not as hot,
right?
And pushed it back, and now it's like gonna be hot. So even in April, I
don't know if maybe there was booking issues, maybe there's something I don't know. But anything else WWE related that you guys wanted to bring up?
I don't know. JPO might have the stuff I was going to bring up, but so I'll go to you. Can I move the opposite side of where I'm to you?
We've been talking to WWE. I just want to give a quick shout out to Akira Tozawa this week, celebrating 20 years in the business. So shout out to Tozawa. There sounds like there's no plans for a king and or queen of the ring this year. If you remember last year, they got title shots at SummerSlam. Does not seem to be the plan this year. Neither of those events are scheduled. But we do have a date for Evolution 2, the all-female special. Sounds like it'll be Saturday, July 5th. So it'll be on a Saturday, July 5th is when we'll get the all-female special here. I got some of the best merch seller notes too as well. So if you're thinking John Cena still ain't making money, he is. He is the number 1 and 2 top merch seller for WWE this week. Cody Rhodes coming in at 3, and then several of the WrestleMania logo shirts, and then running that out is AJ Styles also in the top of the list this week here.
Oh, wow.
So those are your big merch sellers. And then finally for WWE, I told you guys last week, Jacob, I don't know if you know this, I'm calling out Dominic Mysterio because he is the Tendy King, Chicken Tender King, and he now is endorsed by Wingstop, and he claimed how great their new chicken tenders were. Dom, I'm not just saying this is not a goof, this is not like a ha. You lied to us, all right? Their tenders are not as good. I'm being legit. I was all in for it. I even got 4 for free because you had to, like, if you spend a certain amount, you get 4 for free. I'll try to rack it up to maybe I just had a bad cook because I think they have potential. But again, I feel like you tried to break something that wasn't broke. So Dom, I can no longer trust your chicken tender reviews. So if you need chicken tender reviews, you come to the real source, the man that won't bullshit you, JPO.
Okay, but in fairness, you have only had chicken tenders in the areas in which you've lived. He is a world traveler. So.
How dare you, sir? I've had chicken tenders in Arizona, Florida.
Arizona,
Indiana,
Florida. Oh, did you?
other
While you were there
places
for,
in Florida.
while you were there for the
I'm just
3 days?
here's the thing. If I was there for more than a day, I'm sure I had chicken tenders. Knowing me.
No, I will come to you for chicken tender advice only because Dominic Mysterio doesn't answer my phone calls.
No, yeah, that's also probably a good choice.
You heard it here first. Dominic Mysterio, you're being called out. JPO versus Dominic Mysterio. Chicken tenders on a pole match. WrestleMania.
Yes. They go, book it, Paul.
He's gonna, instead of truth or dab on like the Hot Ones thing, it's gonna be truth or tender with JPO and Dominic Mysterio. That's right.
I've always wanted to host cold ones where you just like you have to drink like a really cold thing fast and you get a brain freeze instead of the hot thing and like answer questions. I would do that show.
Start it up.
Drink a milkshake like us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Was that? Do you have any more, JPO? I got a couple.
I have other company things. You said WWE, so I stuck with WWE.
Oh, I got more. Like I got a couple of WWE.
Go for it.
Well, the reason, yeah, well, you said they weren't doing Queen of the Ring at Saudi this year. What they are doing, I think the week before or the same month, is Night of Champions. So Night of Champions is going to be in Saudi this year, and I believe it's on before Evolution. Can't remember the date, but I can look it up if you want. But yeah,
Was it a legit Night of Champions or an AEW Battle of the Belt situation?
No, a legit Night of Champions. And this is going to be the only time they go to Saudi Arabia this year, which is interesting. So yeah, that's what.
It's because they're gonna have like 3 shows next year. That's why.
Yeah,
with the Rumble,
including the damn Royal Rumble. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
we probably won't watch that together, you guys.
And then on the other, which you mentioned, Ricky Starks defeated Sean Spears.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Saints, I should say, beat Sean Spears for the North American Championship. So he's the new North American champion. Decent match. Yeah, a little surprised that Sean Spears didn't have it for that long, but he's sort of there to put over, other talent kind of sort of role.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, he was a 0 defense transitional champion. So yeah, much love to Sean, but I love Ricky. So I would have been more mad if it wasn't someone like Ricky.
Yeah.
Sounds like JPO sounds like us over on the horror clips thing we do bi-monthly. Nobody's been able to defend. A new champion every time. It's me. It was,
real quick. One
and
done.
done. Yeah. One and done, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, and the only other thing I'll mention, it's not to do with any company, so I'll just bring it up here. Thoughts to Mick Foley. I hope you heal up all right. He's in a pretty decent car accident. Pretty, but yeah, like so all thoughts are in recovery. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty nice. His car was looked pretty totaled in the photo I saw. So yeah,
and the fact that he's standing next to it in the photo versus what that car looks like. Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
Well, this is the man that was thrown off the Hell in the Cell, crashed through tables.
Has he checked himself like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable?
Right?
Like, holy shit.
Look at
that.
That
thing is like ripped to shreds. Yeah, that is not good.
And he's just like, what could happen?
I wonder who's taking the like. He just stops one of the EMTs, like, "Hey, could you take a picture for me real quick before you go?"
Holy shit, McFoley! Hey, yeah, it is me. Take a photo real quick.
Yeah, so that's all I got, sort of. WWE wise, and just want to bring up that.
All right. Well, before we jump into these AEW predictions, JPO, I know you always got like some other tidbits from around the wrestling world. So what do you got?
Around the world tidbits with JPO. If anyone wants to chime in when he can. I have more merch sellers. Someone was listening to the top merch sellers for AEW. Hangman Page evidently selling a lot of shirts this week. MJF, Cope, the Wrestle Dream Blu-ray. So discs still sell.
Huh.
Physical Media, baby,
Mhm.
and Kenny Omega. So those are your big sellers there.
You can hear
Pro
all the
Wrestling
chants on
Tees.
Wrestle Dream that my section started.
There you go. You should buy the blue. Jacob, as a big Blu-ray collector, you should buy that Blu-ray.
I might just because I was there.
And see if you can see
Yeah, you
yourself.
were there. I know that was it's funny. I know some people are like that. They never do because they're like, "Well, I was there. I saw it." For me, I was always like, I always wanted the ones I was there at, like for sure. That's
Yeah,
it's almost.
All the angles I wasn't able to see.
Well, no, I think it's a fun, memory and because like for me, it's actually some of the DVDs I have left are the ones I kept that I'm physically there.
Yeah,
that table spot in that triple threat, the table was set up on the side of the ring that I couldn't see very well, so
yeah, go rewatch.
Yeah.
For Pro Wrestling Tees, you got the. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was saying I got the global. That when they went to Melbourne in 2002 with like 50,000 people, that global warming tour. I got the DVD for that. So I want to see how that looks.
I had that on VHS.
Yeah,
at one point.
I want to see what that looks like as a viewer. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear commentary, so it's kind of
Yeah, sure, that too. Yeah, I always thought that they should do like for like $5, like a commentary you could like listen to on your phone. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of cool. Pro Wrestling Tees, you got the British Bulldog Micro Brawler, the We Love Chris Spade T-shirt, Bullet Club T-shirt still selling. Shout out to Bullet Club, Bully Ray, and Matt Taven sold a lot this week. So I thought that was interesting. Did he get hurt? Why Matt Taven? Sorry.
Maybe he bought them all because he ran out and he was like, I'm gonna resell them.
Mm-hmm.
He's a former Ring of Honor champ.
But still, I'm saying of all the people, and like even if he has a nice shirt, I was surprised to see he cracked the list. Not trying to shit on Matt Taven randomly, but I forgot I did have one more WWE thing. Right now, it's looking like for night one will be Punk, Reigns, and Rollins, as well as Gunther versus Jay and Owens versus Orton, and Tiffany versus Charlotte for night one. With night two being penciled in right now with Cody versus Cena, the Io, Rhea, and Bianca triple threat. It's still being listed as triple threat because that's what it's going to be. And AJ Styles versus Logan Paul for night two right now is kind of what it's looking like to be shaping up.
Yeah.
Lots of unfortunate injuries.
They're opening with Jay and Gunther, right? They're opening with that, you guys think?
Probably.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it would be almost, it's almost a disservice to put it anywhere but if it's not the main event. Like, it'd be kind of shitty if it was match number 4, of 7 or whatever. So it kind of makes sense to just open up with that. And if Jay does go over, good way to start.
Yeah.
That'll hype everybody.
Joker at WrestleMania.
Well, no, again, I mean, and a lot of people agree with me, and Jericho said this too, those are the two best spots. If you ain't main event, opener is the second best spot.
Opener's good. You're opening WrestleMania. He can do his big entrance. The crowd will get hot for the entrance. Like start the show.
They're gonna be hot for that entrance.
Hot for the entrance. He does the match. He gets the title. The crowd goes crazy. They can hold on the celebration for a little bit at the beginning of the show where they still have time. You're not going to get cut off, and then go from there. So like that's totally fine.
It's a lot more respectable to be match 1 than 2 to 4.
In
Let's
the
just
middle.
put it that way. Some sad news for AEW. They're kind of injury prone these last couple of weeks. First, Jay White, he even grabbed the mic and was like, "Too bad, Kevin Knight. Better luck next year." But then he ended up getting hurt, so Kevin Knight's now in the tournament again. So Jay White is out for the foreseeable future. Oh, Kevin Knight, by the way, is indeed all elite. He got the graphic and everything, so he's full time with them until he disappears because Tony Khan gets bored. Orange Cassidy.
He had a WWE offer and he chose them.
It seemed like WWE was offering him to come down. TNA obviously would have tried to keep him, but it looked like he went elite, baby. New Japan alumni, trainee there originally.
And just a bit of an update on Joe. He's got a broken hand, so he won't he's out, but he won't be out for
it won't be a long time. Yeah.
No, just enough to where they obviously couldn't. They had to go ahead and finish the tournament without him. Yeah. Same thing with Orange Cassidy. He's out for a little bit now as well. And Mark Davis, who unfortunately just came back from injury, looks like he's out as well for a little bit as well for him.
It's amazing. Orange Cassidy hasn't missed an extended amount of time yet. That dude's been
thumbs down. Speaking of somebody that I hope doesn't get injured, Darby Allin has marked April 15th as his Mount Everest day. So Good luck, Darby. Plant that
die.
AEW flag on
Please don't
top.
die. Please don't die.
Please. We love you. We want more of you.
We'll do a coffin drop from the top.
No.
No, he'll end up. No, he'll just no.
Imagine he goes rock climbing. Obviously, he's locked in, but then like he's like, "All right, can I come down now?" And he just coffin drops and like, "All right, catch me."
Is he gonna wear his face
Horrible.
paint to when he climbs Everest?
I would think be smart not to. I don't know. Or like it'd be funny if like he showed up next week. He's like, no, this is permanently on me now.
It froze to
onto
my face. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would probably dig that. He'd be like, hell yeah, I don't have to paint my face anymore. It's just there.
There you go, yeah.
He could get frostbite on half of his face.
I was
And
about to say, this isn't face paint. My face just got really cold.
Yeah, and it just turned black and died. It's like John Turturro's foot and Mr. Deeds.
The Blackfoot. Yeah. Some Fight TV / Triller news. All Caribbean Wrestling will debut this Saturday with Saturday Night Vibes being run and booked by Mark Henry. Some of the roster includes people like Sydney, a.k.a. the former Reggie, Kenny King, and Elijah Burke, or more known as the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, amongst others here. So every Saturday on Triller TV. I got some breaking TNA news, like stuff that literally just broke while we're talking.
I think I know what you're talking about. I was going to bring it up.
Too late. No, the two I got here that are I think are pretty big news is the digital title is vacated and dead. Seth Lander took the title after PCO went crazy, but she hasn't defended it. I think she's still hurt actually. That's why I bought her micro brawler sign. That's why I bought it. But anyway, so they vacated the title, as Tino said. But we are going to rebrand and have a new title called the International Title. So they're also going to have a title called the International Title, just like AEW, with the tournament beginning soon to crown a new champ of a new title. Because, again, TNA loves changing up that other title. Legends, Global,
TV.
King of the Mountain, TV, Digital. So we're on at least number 6 for a title.
Yeah, that was
Jesus. Yeah, I kind of figured this might not last too much longer, but who knows? Then the other thing is, I know they were teasing a Joe Hendry injury, but the way they're talking, it definitely sounds like just a tease. Because literally, like the doctor was like, if anyone can come back, it's Joe Hendry. So that sounds very much like bullshit. But the really interesting note is, on pay-per-view, April 20th.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Hendry versus Frank Kazarian and All Ego Ethan Page. Ethan Page going for the TNA World Title on April 27th. So again, I never know if I think sooner or later one of the WWE NXT TNA guys will take the other one's titles. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And the only other. Did you have any? Was that the major TNA stuff you had too?
No, that's what I was going to say. That was just a triple threat thing. But you're good. Good.
Yeah.
You got there.
And then finally, the last thing I just want to say too, don't forget, Saturday, speaking of things to watch, MLW's Battle Riot. One of my favorite shows of the year. So live on YouTube. I believe it'll be kind of late, at least for me. It will be 10 o'clock, I want to say, because they're over in Los Angeles. But shout out to them, though, because they sold out not once but twice, they said. They actually went to a bigger venue because they sold out, and then finally even this one sold out. So good job for them.
You sold out.
You got for some familiar stars that you might know: Matt Riddle, Paul London, Kushida, Tom Lawler, Dijak will be there. Let's see, Baron Corbin under his new gimmick will be there. Some good people. Some good people will be there. So Battle Riot, and again, there's always surprises we mentioned before. Oh, I meant to save him for last. Damn it, that's why I didn't say him. Paul Walter Hauser, my boy, who I also have a signed action figure from because I had to do it. I had to. So he'll be there. So yeah, that's always a fun show. Again, previous Battle Riot competitors include anywhere from Duke the Dumpster Drosy to Violent J to Suzuki to who knows who.
Ming. I'm not Ming. Quang. So Ming. Yeah.
Quang, Savio under the Quang gimmick. Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, because Savio was there for a while. Yeah. So you never know who's going to pop up.
Because only 31 out of the 40 have been announced. So there's
no, that makes sense.
room for surprises. Yeah.
There's room for at least 5 to 9 surprises there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching. I like that they're streaming some of their stuff on YouTube because now I can watch it. I think they've got a decent promotion.
Yeah, and like I said, right now they're going to YouTube.
VoicesOfWrestling.com is starting to put out the full schedule of all the WrestleMania weekend indie shows, as they did last year. So if you go there, they've got like starting to put out those daily, like all the shows.
There's a couple sites that have good rundowns.
Yeah, and then obviously, Triller. Once we get closer, you can probably look at the upcoming stuff, and there will be a lot of stuff. Obviously, schedule. I'll re-up my Triller for that week for sure. Watch a couple of shows. Watch your.
I did it for the Chris Bay show, and it's gonna literally end right after Mania. So good,
perfect.
I got it right in time.
Perfect. Yeah. But I'm sure there'll be some shows and whatnot.
There'll be plenty to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the WrestleCon Super Show will be on Title Match or High Spots itself, but WrestleCon, all the GCWs will be on Trailer, as you said. Title Match might have something too, so yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch the Spring Break one with the Senior Scramble. Yeah, but yeah, that's Sabu's retirement match as well, so that should be interesting. Him and Joey.
Yeah, that's on the same show. Yeah, the Spring Break one. Yeah, and a couple other interesting matches on that. Yeah, Bloodsport.
The WrestleCon has that Minoru Suzuki Butterbean match, which should be fascinating. We'll see what happens there. I don't know what that is.
The Super Show hasn't sold me as much as they used to. They went kind of wacky. They almost look like they went Spring Break style. Like they went very avant-garde in some of them.
But GCW also has like some of those ID like tournament things, so that'll be going on that weekend. All those ID matches,
and that's starting early too. I feel like the ID one. There's even like a Wednesday show, or
something like they're starting on like Wednesday or Thursday. So there's stuff all over the place. We were talking about me and my girl possibly driving to New Orleans next year and not even going to WrestleMania, but just going to a bunch of the wrestling shows, like just go to all the indie shows. I mean, because literally you look at these schedules, you can go damn near 24 hours a day to go see wrestling. Like it's insane. Just shows everywhere.
I told you my record's 11 from the last Florida one or last big Florida one.
Right. Yeah, just afternoon shows, evening shows, midnight shows, you name it, just everything, whatever. All lucha wrestling, deathmatch wrestling, old school wrestling, just straight up indie stuff, Japanese, Dragon Gate type stuff, female, all female shows, everything in between, all kinds of stuff, meet and greets, everything. So
I like how we guessed most of the participants in the senior scramble.
We guessed most of them.
We got like 4-6. We got 4-6. Yeah.
Yeah,
I even joked because we were talking about because we did the alphabet thing. I remember Doug Gilbert from the '96 Rumble, and he was one of them.
And I just threw out there because I just know from my experience in Florida and Georgia, I was like, Wildfire Tommy Rich still wrestles around there. They could grab him.
That was a good call,
and he got him. So I was like,
threw out Mike Jackson.
We said Mike Jackson. We said George South. So we said Ricky Morton. So we got most of them. So hell yeah, on us.
Just an example too. By the way, I was looking up at my past. Friday I went to Wrestle Pro, followed by Rev Pro, followed by the WrestleCon Super Show. On Saturday I saw Revolver, followed by Jakar, followed by Combat Zone. So and I probably could have squeezed one or two more in too.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the Human Tornado coming out of retirement for one of the GCW shows.
Yeah.
He's coming out of retirement for that. That's cool. All right, I was just
Nacho Libre co-star there.
Yeah. It's almost happened to Salcedo in that clusterfuck thing again as well.
She's been one in the past. That's another one that has had a lot of random people, just like the Battle Ride. I mean, Dink the Clown, like the real Dink the Clown too, was in one. Virgil before he passed,
yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so should we get to predictions and get those out of the way so we can get to WrestleMania 21 after that?
Yeah. I got this stuff right here. If you want me to present,
yeah, for sure. Present predictions.
All right, whenever you're ready.
All right, JPO, take it away, sir.
All right, guys, starting with me, we are talking Dynasty this Sunday. It's in Philly.
JPO, I bought the combo pack, so it's already paid for. I did that thing they did on Triller, the combo thing last time. I bought the
combo. Yeah, fantastic. Because again, match quality. Actually, this is shaping up to be a really good pay-per-view, in my opinion. So starting off with the Owen Cup here, Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight, going with me. Again, I just got to go with Will Ospreay. Again, Kevin Knight eked his way in just because of Jay White, unfortunately, being injured. I think this, again, has potential to be freaking great. I even think this might surpass what Ospreay and Jay White would have done, to be honest with you, because Kevin Knight's more in Ospreay's style. So, well, I anticipate the match. I feel like Ospreay for sure. Would you?
Just to clarify, is the winner getting a title shot or the same as like
Yes.
last?
Yes.
Cool. Because I don't watch week to week sometimes, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance Kevin Knight wins here. I kind of show my hand, but I think Will Ospreay's probably going to win the men's tournament. So yeah, it's going to be a great match, but Will Ospreay takes it.
Fez?
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, and I'll be interested in this match. Just I guess you said Kevin Knight's was he in TNA for a while? I guess
He was a New Japan student, like a dojo guy,
yeah.
and then TNA's in TNA for a while. He was even a tag team with Kushida for a while. They were great.
Well, see, I don't watch much TNA, so I haven't really seen much of Kevin
Yeah.
Knight. So this will be just a good showcase for me to get to know. And who better to put him in the ring with and show off what he can do than with Ospreay? So I'm looking forward to it, even just as an introduction, kind of to Kevin Knight for me. But yeah, I'm still going to take Will because he's. I have a good feeling he's going to take the whole tournament. So I think he's going to win this one.
Yeah. At the very least, he's not a round one loser.
Yeah.
And also, too, as much as Will Ospreay saying he's going to have a match of the night is kind of a does statement, I think Kevin Knight could definitely hold his own in that. So this might be a sneaky banger. Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
It's a clean sweep for Ospreay. Yeah, I don't see him losing round one.
Bruv. Hey, we got one for the women's too here, non-title, but because it's for the Owens Cup. Mercedes Moné, Julia Hart, Richie.
Yes, it's a no-brainer. They haven't really been doing a lot with Julia Hart lately. And Mercedes Moné.
She had a feud with Queen of Monada. Come on, man.
Yeah, that sure. Yeah, and I guess she's introduced as part of the War Dogs. I guess she is part of the thing. But
yeah, Brody accompanied her to the ring not too long ago, so yeah, I would say so.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I think Mercedes probably at least going to the finals. I think it's going to be like her or some other one. Yeah, Athena. So, yeah, Mercedes is winning here.
CEO, PEZ.
Yeah, Mercedes is still undefeated right now, and she's not losing in the first round of a tournament. So yeah, I'm 1,000% confident Mercedes wins this match.
Jacob.
Yeah, if it was a different opponent, I could maybe see Athena, causing, Mercedes to be distracted and her opponent gets the victory. But unfortunately, I don't think Julia Hart is that opponent to do that for. So yeah, I think Mercedes. Well, we'll see Mercedes and Athena in the second round.
Yeah.
So, actually, Barber said exactly what was keeping me from not being 100% confident because this is non-title. So I do see a world. I think Julia Hart has proven that she's kind of that next level. She's a former champion herself. I could see a world where Monet and Athena screw each other over, and that's just a big title match for, All In or whatever. So I do think that world is a big possibility here. But, yeah, I'll probably just cop out and go Monet. I'm just saying, I do think it's more possible.
You tried to talk yourself into it, and you just couldn't do it. It's like,
it has been on my mind.
Yeah.
It's a non-title. Like, why not just do Monet and Athena for the title instead of making it for the cup? That checks out to me.
Yeah, my other thing that's like stopping me is that I think Mercedes, her first loss has to be like big, and I feel like this is just going to be like, kind of out of nowhere.
Here we got the tag team titles on the line. Hurt Syndicate taking on Big Bill and Brian Keith. And before you go, Pez, let me tell you the trajectory it took for Big Bill and Brian Keith to get this title match.
Yeah, I know.
They defeated Top Flight on Saturday, and then they defeated, I have no idea, real quick.
Jobber number 1 and Jobber number 2.
Title match.
Yeah,
and there's a title match. So that's what it takes nowadays. But who you got for this?
I have the Hurt Syndicate another 1,000% because this was supposed to be the Murder Hawk machines, and they had to quickly shuffle in Bill and Brian Keith into this role. And I mean, I don't mind. I think they'll give them some time. I think it'll be a good match. Hopefully, Bill and Lashley have some nice meaty stuff going on in that one. So it could still be good. But yeah, given the fact that Bill and Keith weren't even supposed to be the team in this match, I'm sticking with the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah.
Yeah, I just double checked to make sure I wasn't like misspeaking. Yeah, they they were losing up till then. Bandito and Hobbs defeated them in early March, and then those were the two matches: Top Flight and evidently there were CJ Esparza and Gage Noonan. Shout out to those guys. Jacob,
it's not like May fighters. CJ Esparza is anyway.
I'm going with the heels or the faces or the.
What are they, Jacob?
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
I'm going with the Hurt Syndicate. They're not losing yet. That's all I got.
Or will they? Richie? No, me. Yeah, Hurt Syndicate. Unfortunately, this is another one that just almost kind of like Jay White, but even more so because again, just the momentum hasn't been behind the learning tree. I wouldn't mind it because I'm a big Bill fan, and even Brad Keith is somebody who. Going back again to the small Florida Mania, I was a big fan of, and I've been championing him ever since. But yeah, this just feels like, oh shit, we need opponents. Well, they're trustable. So, Richie.
Before I do that, I got other TNA news. Vikingo is going to return in Ultimate X at Rebellion. There you go. For the X-Division title. There you go. So I got the break from TNA. Anyway, this one, the only actual heel in this match, in terms of crowd, is Brian Keith.
Don't try. He's a silly heel.
Yeah, but Bill's over. People like him.
Bill's over. People like him a lot. Like he was one of the most over people when I went to Grand Slam. He was over more than Bandito. The Hurt Syndicate winning because it was meant to be the Murder Hawk, but Brian Cage was injured. So Hurt Syndicate winning. I don't even know who. Can't even visualize a team who beat them at this point. But
I mean, if they push Brody and Buddy, but
probably them, or if they think Buddy's still got an injured ankle at the moment. Or maybe I could see a possibility of Murder Hawk if they push him right.
It'll be the Young Bucks when they come back.
Sure.
All right. Alrighty, Barber, what you thinking between Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole? With the added stipulations of no time limit, no outside interference, there must be a winner.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Because I haven't really been keeping up with this whole storyline, so I don't know. They
went to a time limit draw, which is why there's no time limit in this match.
Yeah, it's basically just a respect feud. Again, now you're at like two faces in this case. So.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go with the face. I'm going to go with Adam Cole. I think it's time for him to hold the title in a singles title in AEW, and I think he could be a good TNT champion. Maybe, and then the rest of his team, maybe they compete for tag or trios or whatever. I don't know how many other people are in this group. Weren't there 5 of them, and now there's only the 3? I don't know.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Matt Taven
Wardlow
disappeared.
Oh yeah, Taven and Bennett disappeared, and Wardlow's also technically in that too.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to them, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Adam Cole, and I'm also hoping that we're a little split on this one just to break up the predictions a little bit.
Well, we're not so far because I'm going Adam Cole as well. Maybe they'll disagree here, but I'm just going with the logic of, I would like to see Daniel Garcia get a good pay-per-view win. He was left off the last pay-per-view. He's actually had 0 pay-per-view defenses. He's had it for 130 days or so, though. So, but I also just feel like Cole is such an A-lister, and he hasn't won the world title. The devil thing sucked. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you kind of have to give him a little bit of a oomph. I think if he just loses to Garcia, I feel like you're really killing any kind of oomph that Cole can have in the future. Richie?
See, I'm going with Daniel Garcia. I'll be the difference because
Yeah.
I think Adam Cole needs. I think he's playing the wrong. I think because of the devil stuff and the other, that thing kind of hurt him because I think he should be a heel. I think this is a way to get him being a heel. I think maybe Daniel Garcia gets better at him, and then this sort of continues the thing where he just becomes a heel. I think the whole group needs to be heel. Um, and I think Daniel Garcia could use a big, a big win like this, and then to propel him because I think he's obviously got a lot of upside. I would love to see him in a bigger, championship feud down the line, maybe for the world title. So yeah, I think a win like this could propel would benefit Daniel Garcia. So I'm going to say Daniel Garcia.
Pez?
This is one of the ones on the card that I'm split kind of 50-50 on. And you know what? I'll give it a 50-50 for the predictions. I'll also go Garcia just to split it up enough. So yeah, we're at least have this one to, make the difference. But I this is one on the card I could legit see an argument for either one going either way. Garcia could use the big win. Cole could. They kind of both need a big win here. So I don't know which way it's going to go. So we'll see. But just split it up somewhere. I'll go Garcia. Why not? Yeah.
First split of the night, and I agree mostly. Yeah, that's a possibility. For the Ring of Honor World title, Chris Jericho of the Learning Tree, Big Knife and Learning Tree, takes on Bandito. This time, though, the mask is also on the line. Title V Mask. Me? Who we are?
You first.
Me. Yeah, let's take the title off Jericho. He doesn't need it. Bandito, so he can go to Mania weekend and defend it because Ring of Honor has a show that week. Don't check over there. I'm still saying Bandito, but not confidently. Jacob?
Me. Oh,
Richie? I lied. I was just testing you. Good job.
I don't know. I think maybe again. I think you'd want someone like me. I don't watch Ring of Honor week to week, so I don't know how often Jericho's on that show. Probably not that often. I feel like Bandito could probably be on it. Would more likely be on that show more often. And I feel like I don't know. He's just he screams more Ring of Honor to me. So I just don't see him taking off his mask. So I think it's a way. I think Bandito wins, and you have Bandito versus somebody an exciting match. Maybe do a rematch it and Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I don't know, but maybe I think Bandito in an exciting match is someone else who can sort of go. So I'll go Bandito.
Just for some fun clarification, Jericho has been on, at least wrestling-wise, one episode when they were taping in Australia, in fact, and there was a 6-man.
Oh yeah, I should be there. I was there. I was there.
These two, yeah. So as well as the Outrunners and the other Learning Tree guys. Other than that, he has never appeared since winning the title, at least wrestling-wise. Bez?
This match should just. Why didn't they just hold off this match 2 weeks and have it be the main event of Supercard of Honor? Doesn't that seem
true.
more logical?
What are you gonna pivot
why isn't this match? This is an easy main event and have Bandito win the title on the Ring of Honor show and make it be a big main event win. I don't know why.
Win or lose, it would make more sense for Ring of Honor.
It would just make more sense to have this just push it off 2 weeks. It's not that far. You can push it off 2 weeks and just I don't know. It's odd to me. Yeah, because what are they going to do? Just run it back?
Note: Supercard of Honor has been moved to May 2nd.
Even then, it's still not that far away. You could stretch it.
Yeah, you can hold
it's not Ring of Honor, or it's not Mania.
Yeah, they're not going to do Ring of Honor Wrestlemania weekend anymore. So.
Okay. Well, regardless, I'm still going Bandito. He's not dropping his mask.
Yeah. Barber?
Yeah, give it to the guy who never lost it, Bandito.
That's true.
He had to vacate it because he tested positive for COVID-19. They couldn't let him hold on to it for 2 weeks and not wrestle.
May 2nd, New Jersey, and July 11th, Death Before Dishonor in Texas. Okay. At least that's not too long of a gap for once, May and July. All right, so I think did we all agree? Well, no, we all didn't agree.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all agreed, but I disagreed. We all agreed.
You said Bandito.
We're all going with Bandito.
We all said Bandito. Yeah.
Bandito.
You know what I mean. Alrighty, the trio titles on the line: Death Riders, Pac, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. Rated FTR, Cope, Dax, and Wheeler. Wait, no, Dax would catch Wheeler. Yeah, there you go. Richie.
I want Death Riders to. I don't want these titles to be on Death Riders anymore because I want the division to move forward. But I kind of feel like maybe FTR are going to turn on it. And there's something afoot here. So yeah, as much as I don't want it to be, my heart says Red FTR. My brain says Death Riders. So I'm gonna go with my brain and say Death Riders.
Alrighty, what you thinking, the Pez?
What are these trios titles? Have these ever been defended before? What is that? What are these
Yeah, I've
things?
been a little bit recently.
Oh, okay. They're actually getting defended, huh? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know. I know it's going to be something with rated FTR. The question is, who turns, Richie? Does FTR go heel or does Cope go heel, and thus setting up for him going up, teaming back up with a heel Christian? I think that makes more sense. And Cope, I've always enjoyed, Edge or whatever, as kind of a heel more than a baby face. Regardless of whatever it is, there's some kind of miscommunication, and the Death Riders eke out with it, I think.
So they did go 3 months without defending, but they have been good recently. They have defended it 3 times.
I feel like they've heard the criticism. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, no, and rightfully so. Oh no, we said on the show, like, what the heck? Like, defend him or drop him or just kill him if you have to. You don't have time for these titles. Don't fucking waste time then. Jacob.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one because I also would love to see new champions, but yeah, the issues between rated FTR the last couple weeks. Yeah, it would be interesting to see Cope turn heel and align back with Christian, which I don't think is outside the realm of possibility because it's like, Cope is the ultimate opportunist, and like I he could just like, I get why you did what you did, Christian. Like, I totally get it. So I don't think it would be outside the realm of making sense. I'm gonna go with the Death Riders for that reason. Yeah, I just think, it seems like somebody's turning, and it's
Now
the question is who.
that's basically my idea. There's just been too much foreshadowing of, FDR maybe having problems, maybe even Cope's gonna have problems. I don't know, and I think we'll sadly go to the main event with Death Riders looking strong. So that's what I'm leaning towards. I believe there's another clean sweep there.
Yeah.
All right, damn. All righty, 7 of 9 International Championship on the line. Ricochet, Kenny Omega, Speedball, Mike Bailey. What you thinking, Barber?
Is he really just going by Speedball Bailey? Did they get rid of Mike?
It could be an abbreviated thing, or maybe.
Or was it just that we just need to make room on the graphic? I think it's
just making
that's what I'm
room
saying.
on the
That could be a
graphic.
graphic.
It's a graphic thing.
It for sure might be a graphic thing, but I also wouldn't be surprised with companies these days. So,
but Kenny Omega pins Ricochet.
all right.
I don't think there hasn't really been much to this match. Yeah, I think all three are talented. Obviously, I would love to see Ricochet get the win, but I do think they're building, I think, to Omega and Okada, and it could be a title unification, or and it could mean more. That match could be more if both titles are in the picture. So, since I think we're building to that, I'm gonna stick with Omega.
That's a possibility. Also, too, just Omega has had literally 0 defenses, so it'd be kind of weird to be like, oh, he's back and he won the title. Look, he's back to his old self, and then loses on his first defense. I think there is a world where Sneaky Ricochet gets the win over Bailey. So again, I'm not like, if we did confidence points, it's when we won the higher ones, but I do got to go Omega. Richie?
I might be the dissenter here because I think there's a reason they made it a triple threat so that Kenny Omega doesn't eat the pin. I know you don't want Mike Bailey to get the pin, but I think it's better to protect Kenny Omega going into All In than Speedball. I think Speedball and Ricochet could be the program for the title going forward. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a title for title thing at all. So I think Ricochet wins the match, and then with the program going forward is Ricochet and Mike Bailey. So I'll go Ricochet.
Ricochet, Pez.
Kenny's not dropping this title. He just won it. Kenny pins Speedball and wins.
So is that going to be a point of difference? So if I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just.
Well, we all agree that Speedball doesn't have a chance in our minds, but could be maybe some Rico, maybe go Mega. For the AW Women's Championship, Toni Storm, Megan Bayne, Barber.
No, I think it's Toni. Yeah, she's just too good of a character and too good of a wrestler to keep the title. Let her go on an Athena length run with this title. I would totally be cool with it. Let her hold the title until she decides that she no longer wants to hold it. The decision should not be Tony Khan's. It should be Toni Storm's decision on when she drops the title. And it's not going to be this Sunday.
So, I'm not against that happening. I'm going to go Megan Bayne here because I think Toni is so good and over that she's to the point where she doesn't need the title. And I think if we're going to just go full force, companies don't always do it, but if you want to go full force with Megan Bayne as the new hot shit and she's kind of a tall, big, powerhouse, let's just solidify it here. You know what I mean? No one's going to knock on Toni and be like, oh, she only had the title for, it's like her third or fourth reign. Like, I think there's a possibility Megan's going to get it. I say we solidify it. Again, maybe Toni can get it back down the line. She goes to the other title down the line. I don't know, but I'm going to go Megan Bayne here. Richie.
She doesn't need the title, but the title needs her.
Where
are your tits lying?
Megan Bayne, otherwise known as Sorry Camilla, we replaced you. Camille, I should say. Camilla. Camille, yeah. But yeah, I just want to have a pitch first off that they should bring in women's tag titles, and the first champion should be Thunder Tits. Thunder Tits. That was really good. Yeah, I don't know. I can see what you're saying, JP. I like the way they've built up Megan Bayne. But I'm still going to go Toni Storm. I think, I don't know. I think Megan Bayne's just too new. I understand what like you could put her on her to get her over, but I don't know. I just think it's probably, I don't know. I don't really have much reason. I just think Toni Storm, yeah, there's an argument she doesn't need the title, but I don't know. I think she's is a great champion to have. So I don't think the run needs to last a bit longer. So I'm going to have Toni Storm.
Pez, what you got?
I think there's a way Toni can beat Megan, but you can still make Megan look strong. You could have Toni, either have to hit a whole bunch of finishers in a row because she just won't stay down, or Megan's just beating her ass, and she just barely escapes with some quick roll up or something, and Megan still looks strong, but Toni's the more experienced person in AEW, can still win. Like, it's not like, if Megan just takes a quick pin or something, it's not going to kill her momentum or whatnot. It's just Toni escapes with it, and you can run it back later. So I'm going to go Toni in this initial one to keep it for now.
All right. I have a little bit of faith in Megan, but I got no problem if our good girl Toni retains like you all think. And finally, last but maybe least, John Moxley defends the world title against Swerve Strickland. We start with me. I would have liked to have heard what you guys think, but
yeah,
my heart wants to dance with Nana. My black heart says Mox keeps it. John Moxley retains. Richie.
I don't know. Let me think. I think my thinking is they're still gonna go an AEW original route. Maybe like Hangman or someone, or Darby Allin if he makes it for Everett. Or yeah, but Strickland will be a great guy to have put on. Yeah, to put the title on. This Death Rider thing's not working. This is probably stupid. I'm gonna go Strickland. What's me be wrong?
All right, Pez.
Yeah, my conflict comes from I would be over the moon ecstatic if Swerve won and just killed this Death Rider thing dead in the water, because I think everybody on the planet, like every wrestling fan, just wants this thing to be over with. Like, just put it on Swerve and let Swerve hold it till Texas, you know what I mean? And then just have him have a big match with Paige or Osprey or whoever, just somebody you can have just a big match there. He can hold it for a little while. But god damn it, is like Tony Khan just going to be so stubborn in his fucking ways that he's just going to continue with this shit despite everybody on the planet saying to stop? And it's my same logic as if you remember WrestleMania 39, the first Cody Roman match. I didn't bet against Roman. And unfortunately, since Tony Khan is still booking the show, I'm not going to bet against Moxley. So I'm going with Moxley as much as I don't want to. I would be more than happy to be wrong about this. For God's sakes, I would be jumping up and down. I don't care if I lose the predictions. Please, for God's sake, Swerve win. But I don't trust Tony in this Moxley shit. So that's why.
Oh, Barber.
Yeah, I want it to be Swerve. I hope it's Swerve.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Moxley. I'm going to go with Moxley.
It's going to suck the air out of that damn Philadelphia place.
So, Richie, you said Swerve, right?
Yeah.
All right, Richie, I hope you win, because that would be cool. But the three of us just think he's getting it, man. It looks cool, but I just wish the story was cooler.
It would be cool to see a Swerve Osprey.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Swerve Osprey would be fire.
Yeah, their first match was great, and then you put a title with it. Yeah, for when they run it back. I mean, I'm fine with that. Or hell, even Swerve or Page for the title. Swerve or Page for the title one more time. This time for the title would be.
Apparently, Swerve deserves to have his house burned down.
I know.
Well, he did commit a home invasion and cut a promo on a baby, so that's. Kind
I know.
He kind of admitted that. And he's like, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that." Who knows?
Yeah, so catch all that action Sunday on pay-per-view, Prime, Dave and Buster's. I don't know. Listen to Excalibur. He runs through that shit all the time.
Yeah, he runs it all over the place. All right.
Time to get to the main event.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take a trip in the time machine, Jacob? What do you say? 20 years ago today?
20 years ago to the day.
To the day, literally April 3rd, 2005. To the day. It is currently April 3rd, 2025. And yeah, we're going to take a trip in the time machine 20 years ago and see what was going on in the world of WWE. Wrestlemania 21, coming to you from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, which is still there. I believe it's been renovated. It just isn't called that anymore. It's like the Crypto Arena or something like that now. Something like that. Everything's crypto now. But whatever the case may be, we're in LA. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood was the theme. And if you guys remember all the movie trailers they did, the Basic Instinct, the Forrest Gump, the Taxi Driver. They did A Few Good Men with John Cena and JBL. They open the show, actually. We get a little montage of the trailers at the beginning of the show, and then we kind of end with a gladiator run back of the My Name is Maximus Decimus thing, but it is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He does a whole thing about he doesn't trust anybody, he runs down all his catchphrases and whatnot, and it's a Stone Cold gladiator thing, so that was fun as well. But yeah, we're in LA. JR and the King calling all your Raw action tonight. Michael Cole and Taz calling all your SmackDown action. Carlos Cabrera and Hugo Savinovich, good old those two guys calling the Spanish action this evening. And yeah, after the introduction, the stage itself, I should say, the stage kind of looks like a movie theater screen. It looks kind of cool. It's like got this like curtain thing look to it with the Titantron right in the middle. Looks pretty all right. My favorite part was they have a thing on the side that says now playing or now showing whatever match was on. I thought that was
that was
a marquee thing. Yeah, so I appreciated that. And then kind of your standard ramp, so not bad. But yeah, Viva La Raza. We get the music, and Eddie Guerrero is going to kick things off. Our opening contest, it is tag champion versus tag champion. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, your current SmackDown tag team champions, but they are facing off here in the opening matchup. So Eddie versus Rey, kicking off the show. I wrote Eddie is massive. He is gassed out of his brains. He is huge. He is enormous here. Like his arms are ridiculous. His chest is ridiculous. He is enormous here. Both these guys obviously have a long history. Know each other very well. So we come on here for our opening contest. Both guys very much over. So yeah, we kind of get kind of the lucha start. Rey tries to kind of fire up on Eddie, but he gets caught in a fireman's carry. He flips out of that, hits a running knee. Eddie catches him in a quick arm drag. Everything they do is just so good. Eddie's goddamn is like one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Everything he does just looks amazing. He's better than 90% of the wrestlers today. It's ridiculous. But yeah, they do kind of the lucha lock up and up on the shoulders thing back and forth. Ray's up on the shoulders, pulls him into a sunset flip, but quickly kicks out. And then Eddie out of nowhere catapults Ray over the top rope, and Ray goes tumbling to the floor. But Eddie goes after him. Ray runs back in, goes for kind of that 619, does that little fake out 619 that he does, where he kind of just spins through the ropes. Always looks really
He used to do that all the time in WCW. That was just
I did everything in WCW. Yeah, it always looked good. And he's still able to pull it out here. It looks really, really good. So neither man really has an advantage here. Ray goes for a monkey flip. There's a double bridge, a couple of arm locks. Again, just going back and forth. These two guys know each other very, very well. Some Irish whips, leapfrogs, another arm drag, and then Reddy gets Eddie into the ropes, but Eddie is able to reverse that, throws Ray into the ropes, and eventually to the floor, and he hits a big pescado over the top rope and flattens flattens Ray on the outside. Back inside, Eddie hits a really hard back suplex for two. They're just that snapping one he used to do, where he would just pull the guy down with him instead of just falling. Like it always looked really nasty when he especially do it to Ray. He puts Ray in a surfboard submission, which always looks very painful. And cool, like the full-on extension, up in the air, things like that. Always looks good. There's a suplex into an arm drag by Ray. Ray's able to kind of fight back here a little bit. Gets Eddie out to the floor, and he hits a big corkscrew plancha over the top rope, flattening Eddie on the outside. So trying to fight back here. Goes for a seated senton, but he runs into an Eddie elbow, and there's only a 2 count there. Eddie continues in the second half of the match to go for the 3 amigos, but he can't get the full 3. He gets 1. Ray's able to get out of it. Then later he goes for it again, gets 2, but Ray's able to counter out and roll him up for that. And then there's a cool spot where Eddie goes for another back suplex, but instead of a suplex, he just pulls him down into a backbreaker. That looked pretty brutal, like a back suplex backbreaker. I'm surprised nobody's ripped that off. That was cool for what it was. But yeah, once again, Eddie only gets 2 of the 3 amigos. Ray's able to roll out of it. He misses a 619, but after the miss of the 619, Eddie pulls him over into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, which again always looked good when those guys would do that. He finally gets the full 3 amigos, 1, 2, and 3. Goes up top for the frog splash, but he misses. Ray pulls into an Oklahoma roll out of that frog splash miss, but only gets 2. Eddie gets pulled into the middle ropes. Ray hits the 619, finally gets it, goes for the West Coast pop, but off of the West Coast pop, Eddie catches him and just kills him with a power bomb for 2. He used to just kill Ray with these power bombs off the ropes, just snaps him right into it. Looked pretty brutal, but only gets a 2 count. And then Eddie goes for another kind of tilt-a-whirl slam, but Ray pulls him into a Rana roll-up, almost like the West Coast pop, and gets a 3 count out of nowhere. So Ray able to kind of outwit Eddie here and gets a win over his tag team partner. Eddie looks pissed initially, but he eventually shakes Ray's hand and they walk away. And of course, this would lead to them having a feud, Eddie going back heel, and their very famous custody ladder match, if you remember, at SummerSlam a few months later for the custody of Little Dominic. Little Dominic. Where the hell is Vicky? But yes, Jacob, did you watch WrestleMania 21? Did you watch any of this?
Oh, yeah. No,
gotcha.
Yeah, I've seen this show a few times.
What do you think of this opener here?
Yeah, I think this is this one might be one of my favorite openers. I think these two just know each other so well. They work so well together. I do think this is the one where I think Ray was having issues with his mask. I think if I remember correctly, he was like fidgeting with it every once in a while, trying to keep it on. But yeah, I mean, so these two, like the chemistry between these two is off the charts. So
always good stuff.
Yeah. I put this up there with what is it? I think Brett and Owen, and then Daniel Bryan and Triple H is like one of my favorite openers for WrestleMania. Like it's fantastic. So love this match.
Yeah, really good stuff here, Richie.
Yeah, no, I love this match. This was obviously really good. But my favorite is still going to be the Halloween Havoc one, but yeah, this was still really good. This sort of became the second, Teddy Long has the one-on-one with the Undertaker. This was like my second one where it's like Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. They wrestled a lot after this. Like it was just like it was the main event on nearly every SmackDown. I was just like, okay, I like the guys, but you don't have any other main event. But it became a short. I really enjoyed this match, and the subsequent. Obviously the custody of Tony notwithstanding, it was a good feud, really good feud, and that the way that they blew it off with that. So I do like vividly recall the the final like turn when he does that vicious brain buster on the freaking steps. I was like, it's still like gonna iron in my memory. But this match is really good. But is this first time? Is this like the only time like the tag team champions have wrestled each other on a show, WrestleMania?
Maybe at WrestleMania. I mean, probably not on a show, but I don't know.
John Cena and Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, that's right. They won tag titles. I forgot about.
I was gonna say JPO with the fun facts as I usually throw to you, sir. Any facts you like to throw out there or thoughts on this one from what you remember?
Yeah, I mean, not too much update on these two here. I thought it'd be fun, real quick. Closest without going over. How many times, Jacob, did Ray and Eddie fight 1-on-1?
Oh boy.
WCW included.
Closest without going over?
Yeah, I'm not doing math.
One, no. And just hope they go over. I'm gonna say 43.
Bez?
I'll say 55.
And Rusev Day.
So what did Jacob say?
43?
43.
43 and 55.
Okay. 47.
Jacob went the least over. 38, actually. Some tags are involved in there, but 38 times they faced 1-on-1. Yeah.
How about that?
This was actually, they ended up doing a lot more in the later half, too. This is actually number 20 of 38, by the way. 18 more times after this.
Yeah, I know, because I remember in 2005.
Pretty glued to the hip. They're pretty glued to the hip in 05. I mean, there's literally, it's a Great American Bash, SummerSlam is the ladder match, a cage match on SmackDown, a street fight,
Well, there you go. All right, so we go backstage. JBL is arriving. He is your current WWE champion on SmackDown. He's with his posse of the United States champion Orlando Jordan, who, if I recall right, went undrafted in our United States draft. the other show. Nobody drafted a United States champion Orlando Jordan. How about that? No love for him whatsoever. and the Bashams are behind them as well, which I always forget, was part of
By
their
the way,
little faction.
new Naked Gun trailer, great OJ joke.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no, I saw that. That's just I'm like, oh, I'm actually looking forward to that. Just based on that 1 minute trailer, I'm like looking forward to that movie. Anyway.
But they're walking down the hallway. They run into Triple H and Ric Flair. Triple H, of course, the current world heavyweight champion. They just kind of jaw back and forth. Triple H calls him, a joke for calling himself a wrestling god. JBL says, he's never lost as opposed to you. He's going to take care of Cena. Triple H says he's going to take care of Batista. Just kind of a back and forth. But Triple H eventually says, JBL, keep telling yourself that you're the best, or you're good. Somebody might believe you one day, something like that. And they kind of have a stare down. And as they walk away, Flair woos in Orlando Jordan's face. So that not much to that. But speaking of movies, then we get a quick shot of Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider in the front row, JPO, sitting front row, best buds, right next to each other.
Van Vliet asked him about that, yeah.
Yeah, and they're promoting a little movie called The Longest Yard, was their movie that was coming out in theaters around this time. So there you go. But they are front row. And we get to our match number 2. A new concept here at WWE, a first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. Maybe you guys are familiar with this concept. I don't know. I don't think they ever did this again, but it's a one-off here for WrestleMania. But they're hanging a briefcase up above the ring. This is a 6-man ladder match. The winner will get a contract that they can use for a match anytime now to next year's WrestleMania for an instant championship matchup. We got 6 men here in this matchup. It's Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Christian with his problem solver Tyson Tomko, the current IC champion Shelton Benjamin, Edge, and Kane. And then I had a weird realization that 4 of these guys are active in AEW right now. That's weird. Yeah. So 4 of the people in this ladder match, obviously Jericho, Christian, Benjamin, and Edge, all current AEW stars. So there you go. I wrote I miss Christian's music from this time. The Close Your Eyes song was awesome. Yeah, great stuff. I loved it. I didn't even mind Tomko around this time as his problem solver. I didn't mind him as an enforcer. He was fine. Just I didn't want him to wrestle, but as an enforcer, he's totally fine.
I didn't mind his tag team with AJ Styles. That is right.
Well, that's much later. I'm talking about right now. So these guys make their entrances. There's all kind of ladders up on the ring. The one notable thing is Kane enters last. There's the big pyro, and all the ladders catch on fire. That was really cool. All these ladders on the stage are just in flames.
I thought they would cool down. Imagine if you climbed the ladder. Ow!
Ow, yeah. Those are your prop ladders. So yeah, they coated them in something, I'm sure. But as Kane is making his way down the ring, all the participants try to jump him and take him out of the match very quickly. Kane's able to overpower a few of the guys. They suplex Kane onto the floor and trying to take him out. Jericho's the first to grab a ladder. He pops it into the face of Christian. Jericho in the ring gives a bulldog to Shelton Benjamin. Jericho up and over with a pescado to Edge on the floor. This is where we get a little sequence. Christian does his little springboard from the inside to the outside, lands on everybody out there. Shelton hits a huge no-hands somersault plancha over the ropes, which always looked amazing. Just absolutely crisp and clean. He's so damn good in this match. He's amazing. And then Kane goes to the top rope and crossbodies everybody on the floor to a big pop, so everybody appreciated the big man going up top. He then goes into the ring with a ladder, rams Edge, rams Christian, but Jericho cuts him off with a missile drop kick right into the face of Kane with the ladder. Jericho uses the ladder as a battering ram, hits Shelton, he hits Edge, and then in a cool visual, Benoit comes in and German suplexes Jericho while he's holding the ladder, and Jericho tosses the ladder as he gets German suplex and bounces out of the ring. Just a pretty cool visual there. Crowd pop for that.
Yeah, I was like, I hope there was nobody laying right there.
Yeah, if you were laying right there, it literally goes over the ropes and lands right there by the apron. Yeah, if you were resting there, that would suck. Because man, he tossed that thing and got some air. But Benoit goes to climb the ladder. Kane tries a choke slam on him, but as he's pulling him down for the choke slam, Benoit counters into a crossface and puts Kane in the crossface. Edge goes to break it up, but he pulls Edge into a crossface as well. And then as he's got Edge in the crossface and he's kind of leaning up, Kane just jams the ladder into Benoit's chest. That looked like it really hurt. And then Kane slams the ladder onto Benoit's arm. He kind of props him under the ladder, slams it over and over again into his arm. They're going to use this arm injury throughout the matchup. matchup that Benoit's got a bum, kind of left arm throughout the match. But out of nowhere, Edge spears Kane, and then Edge and Christian sandwich Kane with 2 ladders and start to take him out of the match. And then Shelton hits a springboard double clothesline off the ropes, takes out Edge and Christian. Again, he looks amazing in this match. He's super athletic, just doing some really cool. He's jumping all over the place in this one. Edge catches Shelton catches a kick from him, but he does a spin kick and kicks a ladder into Christian's face. That was a good spot as well. Edge bridges a ladder in the corner, but Shelton gets whipped into it. Edge goes for a spear, but he gets flapjacked right into the ladder in the corner. Crowd pop for that as well. And then he hits a stinger splash onto Edge onto the ladder in the corner. Benjamin goes to climb the ladder, trying to win here. Jericho catches up with him. Christian also up. Benoit up. Edge up. There's 3 ladders. All the guys are up on the ladder here. Christian takes down Benoit with kind of like an arm ringer slam, again, jamming that arm off the ropes. He'll be out for a little while. Jericho falls off, and then Shelton hits a nasty T-bone suplex to Edge off the ladder. So that looked pretty good. Pretty rough there. Jericho is still the first to get back up. Christian bridges a diagonal ladder into the ladder that they're climbing on. So there's like kind of a bridge going up there that'll come into play in a second. Jericho's up on the top, reaching for the briefcase. Shelton Benjamin runs up the diagonal ladder and clotheslines Jericho off the top.
That's still one of the cool spots in the history.
Yeah, he literally just run, boom, 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 lines him off the top. That was great. Crowd give him a standing ovation for that. That was awesome. Shelton goes to climb. Christian hits him with a ladder, knocks him off. Kane back into the match, hits a big boot. He tries to choke slam Benjamin out of the ring, but Shelton gets his foot caught in the ropes. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that looked really painful. And he's kind of just dangling there with his foot in the ropes. He eventually gets out. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the problem solver, Tomko, comes in and boots Kane right in the face, trying to help Christian win the match. He puts him on his shoulders, trying to help him climb up. Kane cuts him off and clotheslines Tomko to the outside, and then he pushes Christian off the ladder, like he knocks the ladder over. Christian goes tumbling to the outside on top of Tomko, so those guys are out to the outside. Kane goes to climb the ladder. Jericho's up, steps in. Both men lose their balance. They fall onto the ropes. Benoit finally comes in, still with a bum arm. He's totally selling his arm like he can't barely move it. He climbs a ladder in the corner that was already set up, and Kane is in the middle of the ring, and he's a huge headbutt off the ladder. Oh my God, he was really high on this thing. Headbutt off the ladder onto Kane. Crowd loved that as well. A huge pop for that. Benoit back up the ladder, but Kane is able to recover. He climbs up and again beats on his arm as well. The headbutt, by the way, busted open. He already had some stitches on his face, and it busted open some of Benoit's stitches, so he's starting to bleed a little bit, which looked really nasty. They get up on the top of the ladder, and Benoit just starts headbutting him over and over and over again. Again, he's only got one arm, just headbutting the shit out of Kane, just doing anything he can. And so Kane goes down from that. And out of nowhere, Edge with a steel chair hits Benoit very, very hard in the arm. He goes down screaming in pain, and Edge takes the opportunity to climb the ladder all by himself, grabs the briefcase, and Edge is your first Mr. Money in the Bank, walking away with the briefcase. And of course, he would go on to cash in quite a while after that. It took all the way to New Year's Revolution 2006, cashing in after the Elimination Chamber on John Cena in a very cool moment. So, a really, really entertaining ladder match. I mean, this thing moves. There's not a dull moment. There's always something going on. Shelton looked amazing. They didn't kill each other in this match. They did some painful looking stuff here and there, but nobody's going through ladders. Nobody's falling through tables on the floor. They just did some cool athletic stuff, the crowd got really into, and I thought it was really entertaining. Richie?
You don't know what to expect with this match. A neat concept at the time, but this match delivered. Shelton Benjamin. I feel like Shelton Benjamin should have, at least got given his flowers at some point in this match, considering I think he was the MVP of this match 3 times. He's just amazing. But that's not to say the others weren't either. Benoit with the headbutt was just insane. It was just a great match that would definitely start. It would propel a great concept that other promotions keep using as well. Like I just saw a video of like the Ring the Hawk that you watched. EC3's got like a NWA spin-off promotion where they're doing that gimmick as well. So
we did it in our United Pro in Georgia, where somebody won. They won a big 20-man sort of Royal Rumble and got like a contract that they could cash in anytime. And we did this whole thing too. Everybody does it now, so it's a whole thing.
Yeah. But yeah, like I also think like if it's true that Jericho, created the match, so one, kudos to him, and two, wish he, you think that it'd be cool if he won this concept at some point, but yeah. There's also maybe an argument to like maybe I like the Money in the Bank concept as a single pay per view, but there's also an argument maybe to have it at WrestleMania again at some point. Maybe just like I don't know. I'm in two minds about that.
You can't really regrets, unfortunately. It just kind of is what it is now. Yeah, it's just part of a pay per view now, literally. But it is what it is. Jacob, any thoughts on this inaugural Money in the Bank ladder match here?
Yeah, this was really good. Yeah, shout out Shelton Benjamin, who looked awesome in this match. Shout out to Benoit. Yeah, he really sold that arm throughout the match. I think everybody got their spots in. Yeah, I think Edge was the right choice to win the first one, especially with what he was able to do with it. I don't think people understood like at New Year's Revolution, he gets a match now, okay.
People thought it was like a thing where you had to schedule in advance.
Yeah,
he's like, no, you can just do it whenever you want to. Yeah, that's why
he's cashing it in, and he gets it right now. Like, this is a really cool concept. Yeah, and it's one that's stuck around for 20 years now. So
yeah, still one of the best cash-ins. Yeah, in the history of the cash-ins, good stuff. JP, any thoughts or fun facts for us? Any of these guys here?
Just looking at a little bit of a guy named Cope, Edge, better known at this time. Yeah, one of the longer briefcase runners. He'd hold on that thing until January of next year, rocking that briefcase for 9 months. In between was the kind of infamous Matt Hardy feud with Lita. This is the origin of the Rated R Superstar, and so that was fun too.
Yeah, totally.
A two-time briefcase holder because he beat Mr. Kennedy when they thought Mr. Kennedy was injured, and he wasn't. Because he was the shame.
We move on. All of a sudden, we cut to the rampway, and Eugene is making his way to the ring. Talk about I forgot about this. I didn't forget about this spot, but like when it started to happen, I went, oh yeah, that this thing. So Eugene makes his way to the ring. His music doesn't start till he's like halfway down the ramp. I don't know if somebody didn't cue the music quite yet. But he gets on the microphone, yells that he's at WrestleMania. Can't believe he's at WrestleMania. Says that his favorite WrestleMania moment was when King Kong Bundy fought the midgets at WrestleMania 2. The midget army fighting King Kong Bundy, and he says midgets are awesome. I swear to God, that's what he said.
I would like to put segments that didn't age well for.
You mean like this?
That one didn't age quite so well.
Thanks, John Tron to put it. Yes, thanks, John Tron. Not aging quite well. Says WrestleMania, this is the greatest night of his life. And then Muhammad Hassan's music hits. He has awesome music, by the way. It's a great open and a great music. So good stuff. I was a fan of Muhammad Hassan. I'm sorry.
I was too. I think he got shot.
JPO, have some Muhammad Hassan facts ready for us. That's how long this run lasted and whatnot. If you could, I'd like to know some stuff. I know it wasn't long; it was like a year or something. But Well, anyways,
after a bit, to be honest, I feel like I think he was. He was a good wrestler with just they gave him this gimmick and it was just poor timing and
I know, but he's good at the gimmick. You know what I mean? Like this was good. He was over as a heel, and yeah, I think they could have done something with him. But yeah, he comes out with his great music with Daivari at his side. Of course, he's angry. Eugene says, "What? You don't like midgets?" And he's shaking his head.
I mean, that's fun. That was funny. I laughed.
That was funny. Yeah. So and here's where Muhammad Hassan's promos are interesting because. Stop him when he's lying. He tells the truth all the time. He constantly tells the truth. He says he's excluded from Mania despite the fact that he's never been pinned in his career so far. True statement. He's not wrong. He says they're in Hollywood. Hollywood's full of phonies and fakes. He's not wrong. Hollywood has a long history of bigotry. He's not wrong. He's correct. And that's where he says, he's never been pinned, and he's not going to stand for this. Where is he wrong? He's completely true in every statement he's made.
And who comes out to the rescue? A racist.
Yeah. And this is another thing that hasn't aged so well. But he, of course, he attacks Eugene, puts him in the camel clutch as Daivari is, yelling on the microphone, and real American hits. Here comes the American hero, Hulk Hogan, to save us from this man telling the truth to everybody in the crowd and not saying a single lie. And yes, it would go down from being a pretty big racist, but the crowd is going crazy at the time. He comes down, clears the ring, knockers, throws both of them over the top rope, and then Daivari tries to hit him with a chair. He no-sells it, boots Daivari, throws him over the top. Crowd is going crazy, including David Arquette at ringside, former WCW heavyweight champion at ringside, cheering on Hulk Hogan, the rest of Hogan's family, which also hasn't aged well, because now Linda want nothing to do with him whatsoever. They all want nothing to do with each other. It's bizarre. Go look into that someday. They all hate each other. But yeah, so and then Hulk Hogan proceeds to pose for the crowd for, I swear to God, like an hour. Like it just went on and on and on and on. You could have done 2 matches in the time it takes for him to pose for everybody. And the parallel to current day that I found in this one, 20 years later in Los Angeles, if you remember, Netflix debuted at Los Angeles, he's getting booed out of the building. So my has the tide turned in 20 years on Hulk Hogan.
One thing I've heard mentioned in the news, he actually did for some reason he did, Mark Henry did like a DJ set with Hogan there as well. He was doing some DJ thing, and he got booed there.
Yeah. Oh, Jacob, any thoughts on this segment at all?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I remember liking it at the time. But
in a vacuum, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Hulk Hogan fan, it's a good time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Looking back on it, like I'll probably fast forward through this and just get to the Undertaker Randy Orton match. Instead, but no.
When Eugene came out, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the Muhammad Hassan Hulk Hogan thing." Yeah, I remember this. I was like,
if you're rewatching it, you use that as a chance to, go make some food, go to the bathroom.
Yeah, go get yourself a snack. It's fine. You hear, Hogan's gonna pose for 10 minutes. You got plenty of time. So, which he does. Richie.
Yeah, I mean, I probably very similar thoughts at the time. Thought, oh my God, Hulk Hogan's here! Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan! And then at the time I was like, I didn't I wasn't thinking, I wasn't really, when you're young, I'm not taking in what Muhammad Hassan's saying. So I wasn't like, oh, but yeah, he's bad because Daddy told me he's bad. I'm gonna boo him. But now it's like, he's kind of a heel just because he's
brown. Just say it. He's brown. He's a heel because he's brown. Post 9/11, he's a brown guy. Yeah.
Like Mark Copani, who plays him, is Italian.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, in a vacuum, it was fun. It was fun seeing Hogan and the crowd going wild. But like nearly everything about the segment doesn't age at all.
Yeah. JPO.
Who do you want to know?
Hassan and Daivari, maybe. I don't know if you got.
We'll talk. Mark Magnus was his original LVW name because the guy was Italian, but his kind of looked vague enough, so they made him Muhammad Hassan in late 2004, popping up on Raw. I don't know if you guys also remember too, like they had him undefeated, but then he lost by a countout and DQ. So they had to keep changing it. Well, he's never been pinned. They had to keep changing how undefeated he was. So yeah, that's late 2004, and yeah, he is Gonzo by mid 2005. So yeah, that's not even 7, about 8, 9. Yeah, like a hot 9-10 months here. Yeah, there's the Undertaker Great American Bash where they literally just they're done with him, unfortunately, and really kind of talks it up. Unfortunately, just bad timing. As you said, a lot of promos where he just kind of spoke the truth and made sense, but he's bad, he's evil. He made a small return to the New York Indies in 2018 to
I
wrestle
saw
3 more
that.
matches.
Saw
Yeah,
that.
but he backed out again though. Seems like a nice guy in interviews, and but Daivari, still backstage to this day. He'd go on to have TNA X Division title run, back and forth between WWE and TNA. He made one weird Saudi Arabia appearance, if you remember, where he came out with his brother Ari Daivari just to get beat up by like somebody while he was not signed, which is really weird.
Yeah. But yeah, you see him occasionally, like Jamie Noble, like in those like breakups, like sometimes at the pull parts, right?
You
Like, you'll
always
see
see
him every now and then.
Kenny Dykstra, always Pete Williams. You see Pete Williams a lot.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
kind of
when
like
they-
how
Shut up,
before
Petey.
it's like before they re-signed Finley, as a wrestler. Like you always see like Finley and
Yeah.
Malenko and some of those guys, like in the pull apart brawls in like the mid 2000s. Yeah, you always see those guys.
Before he went to AEW, it was always like Pat Buck was there too. I'm like, oh, there's Pat Buck with his red hair. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think Muhammad Hassan is like a principal now. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, you can go see Van Vliet did an interview with him. He seems like a really good guy. Yeah, he's a principal of a school. He's doing well. Like he's totally fine. Like and he talked about all the stuff in his career. I mean, it's fascinating. Kind of like the stuff he got saddled with, and some of the matches he said he was able to have before. He unfortunately, just bad timing. He said it was what it was. But I recommend the interview. The interview you did with him, a couple of years back was really good. So go watch that. Yeah, he seems like a good dude. So yeah, we are moving on next to match number 3. It is Legend versus Legend Killer. As the Undertaker is 12-0 at WrestleMania. They're really kind of this around the time they were really kind of hyping up the actual streak here. Randy Orton, so he's going to be the first one to break it. Obviously, so yes, this is Legend Killer Randy Orton after his brief babyface run, like after he won the title and he was briefly a babyface, like against Evolution. Then he went back to being a heel fairly quickly. It didn't last very long.
It just didn't really work because it was just out of nowhere, kind of. It was just sort of like, oh, wait, you got the world you got the world title, I won it, and then it's like, but yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think that when he turned babyface later on, it was better because there was more. Yeah, he spent more time with him as a heel, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a bit premature. That's probably why it didn't work.
But yeah, Bob Orton is involved in this feud as well. He's been helping kind of Randy get some one-ups on Taker as well. So the Undertaker makes his big long entrance with the Druids. Apparently one of the Druids is Kofi Kingston. Fun fact.
I believe one of the Druids is also Colt Cabana, and I believe, I think from remember there's one was Colt Cabana. Maybe I think was CM Punk signed around this time. One of the Druids could be CM Punk as well. I don't know.
I don't think so. I didn't see that. I looked up some articles about Druid cameos, but I saw this one for this specific one. But anyways, he has a cool entrance, kind of glides down the ring. It's kind of a cool entrance. Taker comes out. I love his old music. Still love that old music that Orton had. Good stuff. But yeah, so we got Legend Killer Randy Orton taking on the Undertaker. Taker tries to corner Orton a couple of times to start out with, looking for those like corner strikes and whatnot. Some whips and a couple leapfrogs. Orton hits a big drop kick to put down the dead man. Hits a big back body drop, but Taker eventually fights back with some right hands using that striking ability as he's one to do. Puts him in the corner, hits some big corner strikes and elbows. Orton fights back with a quick roll up for a 2 count. Goes for the RKO, but in a cool spot, he kind of goes for the RKO and Taker catches him and tosses him over the top rope. It was a nice little counter. So that was good. Taker does his leg drop on the apron, one of his kind of signature moves, and squashes Orton. That always looks nasty when he does it. Like that can't feel good. But goes up top, hits the old school on Orton. Taker tries for a big running boot, but he gets caught up in the ropes, like his leg gets caught over the ropes, and Orton pushes him out to the floor, trying to take back over. Orton beats on Taker a little bit out on the floor. Back inside, hits a quick lariat for a 2 count. But Taker eventually off the Irish Whip counters into his kind of catching DDT, gets a 2 count. Sidewalk slam. Yeah, no, the DDT always look good. Yeah, he follows it up with a side slam for a 2 count. Corner splashes, hits his snake eyes, but then Orton is able to counter with a big running elbow for a 2 count. Orton jabs Taker, kind of striking back here. He counters a clothesline for a 2. Taker eventually puts on a dragon sleeper, trying to get the submission here. 2 arms drop, but Orton's able to get that 3rd arm, avoid that the loss here. And in a cool spot out of the Dragon Sleeper, Orton kind of floats over into a DDT. That was a cool little counter, kind of swings around and pulls Taker into a stiff DDT. That was a nice one. Orton then hits Taker with a back suplex as well. Taker tries to fight back, hits the ropes, but Orton hits a snap power slam and also gets a 2 count. Orton goes up for the 10 punches in the corner, but of course that leads in Taker trying for the last ride, but Orton pops out of it. And when he pops out of it, he shoves Taker, and Taker gets shoved into Earl Hebner, who goes down. So we got a ref bump here as Hebner takes a little shot in the corner. Taker once again goes for the last ride, but Orton's able to fight his way out. And right as he fights his way out with the referee down, Cowboy Bob Orton jumps into the ring. And he's got that dastardly cast on his arm somehow back, and he nails Taker, waffles him with the cast. And then Orton kind of wakes up Hebner. Hebner slow counts Taker, but it's only a 2 count. Taker's able to fight back out after that cast shot. He rises up. Orton goes to whip Taker into Bob Orton, and Taker actually boots the shit out of Orton on the apron. He took a nasty boot and a fall to the floor. So kudos to Bob Orton for taking a nasty little bump here. Looked pretty good. Best part of the match coming up, where then Undertaker grabs Orton, goes for a choke slam, but as Orton's coming down for the choke slam, he pulls it into an RKO. That was awesome. It was great. Yeah, great spot. Crowd pop big for it. Awesome spot. Covers, but only gets a 2 count. That was a great near fall. Orton goes for a tombstone of his own, but never a good idea against the Undertaker, because Undertaker rolls out of that, pulls it into his own tombstone, crosses the arms, gets the 3 count. So legend beats legend killer tonight. A very good match. Is it like Undertaker's best match at WrestleMania? Obviously not, but a really good showcase for Orton, and a really nice kind of streak match, if you will. If somebody drafted this one in the draft that we're going to talk about and we'll do, I would not be surprised. It's a really good Taker Orton match, and a showcase for Orton here. So Richie, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I really like this match. I know people will probably talk about, like, if you're gonna have people break the streak, maybe it could be Randy Orton. I'm like, I wouldn't have been opposed to that necessarily. But at the end of the day, I'm glad Undertaker won. But but it would have served Undertaker. It would have served Randy Orton more than it would have Brock Lesnar. Let's say. I thought it was a really good match. But the choke slams, the RKO is just I think it's an underrated RKO. People talk about the even born thing. People talk about people talk about the Seth Rollins curb stomp. They're great, but this RKO is also really good. I think it's sort of the moment. Even though he lost, I think it's the momentum Randy Orton needed after a sort of dud babyface run, and I think it was a really, really good match. And I think before he tried to go for the tombstone. He's actually one of the few people who can do the eye roll thing. Probably he did the eye roll thing. Fortunately, now we see the counters to the tombstone all the time, especially in AEW. It was really good, really good showcase. And I remember with Bob Orton, I was like, because I remember that when he broke his hand, I'm like, I know that it did take ages to heal. I'm like, is that still the same guy? Is it not healed yet? But no, he probably is obviously a prop at this point. I remember that run. He had a run for a while, but I think it ended because they had a cage match or something, and he bled, and he had hepatitis or something. It's like, oh, dude, you can't bleed everywhere. This match was really good. I think if you pick it up in the draft, that's a good get.
Yeah, Jagger.
Yeah, this match was really good. Yeah, like you said, it was kind of the first time they really, made the streak, a thing. And I would have been very happy if Orton had one at the time. As a 15-year-old, almost 15-year-old, I'm like, no, Randy's a bad guy. I want the Undertaker to win. But in retrospect, like if he had won, like I think it would have done great things for Randy Orton's career. Obviously, he did just fine.
Yes.
But yeah, he was coming off that dual babyface run. And I think there was still that what if this Undertaker feud doesn't go well? Like what happens to Randy's career? Thankfully, the feud
he's done
well.
just fine. He's still active 20 years later. He's fine.
Yeah,
he's fine.
yeah. Also, Bob Orton, the second of 3 Hall of Famers that were inducted the night before. Hulk Hogan was the first, and then we'll talk
that
about
are like involved, in the show.
that are involved in the show.
Yeah.
Really, really great match.
Let's say JP, probably not a lot to say about this because it's 2 guys who are, we're very familiar with here, so not a lot to catch up on. But unless you got anything,
the only thing I was gonna add is, this is another 2 that were kind of tied to the hip for a little bit here. Rematch at SummerSlam, Orton will get his victory back. 2-on-1 handicap match at No Mercy, won by both Randy and his father Bob. Undertaker would defeat him at a Hell in a Cell at an Armageddon. 2005, that would be their last pay-per-view match, and that is the aforementioned one where Bob bled and people were pissed because he had hepatitis C, and he was like, "I've had it since I was a teenager and I forgot." But also supposedly John Laurinaitis knew beforehand too, so maybe he should have been in more trouble as well. But luckily, at the end of the day, these 2 were fine. A couple smaller TV matches as well, including a 4-minute match in 2009 on Raw would be their last match. Randy Orton won by countout.
Okay. 4-minute match. I can't imagine. What's supposed to deal with that? 4 minutes.
It's Raw and it's a count out, so it was obviously in it before they really got going. Probably.
Yeah, some kind of shenanigans. Yeah, some angle, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We're going into match number 4. It's our women's match of the evening, and boy, is it a barn burner! Because we've got Trish Stratus, your current champion. This is her kind of mini heel run she did for like a year here. Which I kind of forgotten about, but yeah, she's a heel here. Taking on your Diva Search winner, Christy Hemme. Who, and the story behind this match is, Christy challenged Trish Stratus. Trish kind of laughs it off because obviously she's the 6-time, women's champion at this point. Christy Hemme is, kind of a nobody. But she's being trained by Lita, somebody that Trish Stratus knows very well because Lita was injured at this time. But she is there in her corner. So that's the idea of this one. But yeah, this is not a very long one, so it is kind of a quick one here. Trish just kind of toys with Christy at first, not really taking it too seriously. Throws her into the steps on the outside, brings her back in, whips her into the corner, gives some chops, kind of mocks her jumping, dancing that Christy Hemme always kind of did, just jumping all over the place and, mocking her kind of silliness and whatnot. Goes for the chick kick, but it gets blocked. And then there's a Christy Hemme low blows Trish Stratus with a full-on kick, question mark, behind the referee's back. Why would you need to do that to a woman? I don't know. It's weird.
This is one where I get confused. But so when at UFC when they hit the woman hit below the belt, like, does it hurt? I'll just shut up.
I don't know. They full on distract the referee and she low blows Trish. Okay. Well, anyways, so I don't know. I mean, who knows? I'm not a woman, so I don't know. Maybe it hurts. I'm not sure. But anyway, so she goes for a cover, only gets a 2 count. Some more chops by Trish. Trish rushes the corner, but Christy does do a cool spot where Trish rushes out in her corner. Christy jumps up and does a split on the top rope to avoid it. That was a decent little spot, so not bad there. And then pulls her into a sunset flip and only gets a 2. Trish does kind of a sloppy spear tackle to Hemme back on the outside. Trish is attacking Hemme. Lita's nearby. Trish shoves Lita into the barricade, just kind of antagonizing her a little bit. Back inside, Christy gets another quick roll up for a 2 count. Hits a couple of high knees to Trish, rams her head in the turnbuckle over and over again. His kind of a reverse twist of fate, like a neck breaker twist of fate, taking after Lita for a 2 count. Goes to ground and pound her a little bit. They trade some roll-ups kind of back and forth, or they're kind of rolling back and forth, 2 count, 2 count, 2 count. But back up, Trish hits a quickly ends it with a big chick kick and pins Christy Hemme for the 3. So Trish retains your title here at WrestleMania. Not much to talk about here. It's not really a Mania match per se. This could have been on Raw. I don't know. I guess we just had to have a women's match with the women's champion. This is what we got, but it is what it is. Jacob, any thoughts on Trish and Christy Hemme here at all?
Cool.
Yeah, it's like 4 minutes. It is what it is.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah, not the highlight of the show, but there was worse stuff on the show. This is not the worst thing on the show. We'll get to that. Richie?
Yeah, I don't know why this needed to be a Mania match. It could have just. I don't even mind it being at like a B pay-per-view, but Mania, like, I don't know. You even have Lita out there. Why don't you say Trish and Lita?
Because she was hurt. She was hurt.
She was hurt at the time. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she doesn't even wrestle in the summer. Remember, she's just with Edge doing the Matt Hardy feud, so she doesn't wrestle.
Yeah. Again, but surely there's other. I know it's not a great time for women in wrestling, but surely there's other women there. That
Molly Holly was around. You couldn't do Molly Holly. I don't know. Yeah.
Was she a heel at the time? She could turn a baby face.
She's still a heel, so she could turn I don't know. Yeah, it was weird. Christian was a heel, and then everybody else was a heel, so like there was no baby faces.
Christy Hemme should be low. I like her, but she should be low on your list for WrestleMania opponents. Yeah, it's something I don't know. I like Christy Hemme. I remember my knowledge. My first time I saw Christy Hemme, she was one of the hot girls on trampolines on the Man Show.
And that was the Revival Man Show with like Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope. It wasn't even the original one.
The decent one. It was, it was all right. But yeah, but it is what she has a decent finishing move with like the the split thing. The when she does the splits on the top rope. She would do a decent job as a manager in TNA. Yeah, I think she's got some. I mean, JPO gets to it. I think
leave it for JPO. Damn it! Don't steal all of his heat. Come on, I'm sure he's got Christy Hemme.
I've got some fun stuff.
Okay,
I'll leave it to you. But yeah, I guess to summarize this, I'm sure they could have found a different opponent, or they could have bring an outsider for like one.
No, again, as said, this is literally just a hype of their shitty little diva search, because this is in fact Christy Hemme's 5th ever match, y'all. 5th ever is at Mania.
Yeah, Mania. Yeah.
And guess what? Her first 3 were all lingerie pillow fights. Lingerie pillow fights that lasted less than 2 minutes. Her 4th match was a 6-person tag involving, yes, Molly Holly. So she was available. So was Victoria around this time. So there was options. You could turn one of them face. So yeah, 5th
Victoria was a face for a little while. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah.
No, and Molly could do it. I'm just saying. Yeah. So Molly and Victoria are very much there and ready. So her 5th match ever. She'd only last about a little over a year. She'd be gone literally about 13 months into her WWE stay, so relatively short stay. She would jump over to TNA for a little while, though, making her wrestling pay-per-view debut at Against All Odds against Big Fat Oily Guy. That is her TNA wrestling debut, which I found awesome to learn again. She'd be there until let's see, that's 2007.
Wait! I want to point out we've drafted Big Fat Oily Guy and not Orlando Jordan. I just want to point that out in a previous draft. Well, now we drafted him for a worst gimmick draft, but we did draft him.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, he has been mentioned on the show before here. Yeah, longer TNA run, including a ring announcer. And the other thing that I also give Chris Hemme a lot of credit for, after having her first daughter, she then had quadruplets. She literally had 4 kids right after, and when her daughter 2 was only like 4 or 5. So yeah, she has 5 kids. I remember she was on bed rest too for I think the last couple of not a few months. They were like, just you lay in bed and do nothing. You can't move. So yeah, 4 kids at once. So she is a tough ass broad.
I can imagine the surprise having quadruplets. Okay, you have 1. Okay, that's enough. Wait, there's more. Okay, shit. What?
No, it's pretty much it. Like the sonogram is literally okay, and there's and the third thing is showing up.
There was a storyline on. If you ever see Parks and Recreation with Adam Scott and and Amy Poehler get together, and they're gonna have a baby. Like they plan to have a baby. Like, and then Adam Scott's like doing all the numbers, crunching number. Okay, we got a budget for this, and he's got it all worked out, no problem. One kid, and then they find out they're having triplets, and he's like, oh my god, the budget's tripled. We can't afford this. And they have triplets, and it fucking screws up everything.
That happens on I don't know about the budget part, but Friends has that too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
they end up
it's just
with,
Adam
more than
Scott's
one
like a
kid.
finance guy. He freaks the fuck out. Everything's tripled with 3 kids. He's freaking out. So
I always found it weird with Chrissy Hemme because she would most of her career in WWE should come out to the Hive song, but the song was called "Idiot Walk." I'm like, are they calling her an idiot or like, Jesus, wow? It's a good song, but so like I didn't get the it's a cool tune, but like I didn't get the lyrics behind. Are they? Is she calling a phone to an idiot? Is she an idiot? I don't know. But anyway.
Anyways, our discussion of this match has gone on longer than the match did. So let's move on. All right, let's get to something worth talking about. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle is your match number 5. And here's the real highlight of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, a dream match in the making that goes all the way back to Royal Rumble when they had their little kind of mini feud in the Rumble and they were attacking each other. And Shawn eliminated Kurt Angle. Angle put him in the ankle lock. These guys are going to go back and forth. But yeah, it's a true dream match here. Both these guys squaring off at WrestleMania, and rightfully so. So good stuff here. We start out. Shawn slaps Kurt right in the face, and they go to work wrestling. And an interesting kind of twist. Shawn Michaels getting the better of Kurt Angle here with some of this wrestling, kind of out wrestling Kurt a little bit here and there. Kurt getting a little frustrated. Just always pulling him over. They do a thing where he keeps pulling him over into a side headlock takeover. 3 or 4 times. Kurt getting frustrated, can't get out of it. Crowd's split kind of 50-50 on their support of both these guys, which would actually turn more towards Kurt near the end of the match. It's more like 80-20 by the end of the match. Crowd behind Kurt Angle by the end, and a reason for that. Angle finally hits a big shoulder block. Shawn comes back with a hip toss. It's a short arm scissors. Again, they're just trading kind of pin attempts, some roll-ups, some submissions. Just a lot of really good catch-can kind of mat wrestling here for the first couple of minutes. Really doing kind of a slow burn here. Shawn hits a sunset flip for a 2, a backslide for a 2, another side headlock takeover. They finally start to kind of slug it out in the corner. Both guys just eventually start to brawl a little bit. Angle tries for an early ankle lock, but Shawn's able to escape, and he clotheslines Kurt Angle over the top rope to the floor. Shawn, out of nowhere, just starts clearing the announce table, which gets the crowd kind of hyped up. But a few European uppercuts from Kurt Angle. Goes for a suplex on the floor, but Shawn comes back with some chops, and Angle fights back, hooks. Looks like he's going to angle slam him on the floor, but instead backs Shawn very fast into the ring post while he's up in the angle slam position. That looked like it really hurt. That looked like it sucked, but a really cool spot, really creative spot. Shawn taking a hard shot to the back here again. Kurt Angle going for that back injury, as what a lot of guys do. Back in the ring, he's just clubbing Shawn in the back and his forearms. Big vertical suplex, really going after that back. Body scissor on Shawn's back, and then Shawn gets whipped into the buckle, does the kind of inside out bump that he does. That always looks nasty when he does it. I always get worried for Shawn when he does that upside down bump into the corner that he does. It's always gross. But Kurt catches him in an overhead belly to belly suplex, and then pulls him back in for another belly to belly, but only gets a 2 count. Puts him in a camel clutch, again trying to stretch that back. Shawn fights to the ropes, but Angle picks him up for another short arm clothesline for a 2. A couple more European uppercuts, puts Shawn up on the top rope. He goes for a top rope belly to belly, but Angle gets shoved off the top rope. Shawn at that point goes for the top rope elbow, but he misses and gets nothing. Angle pulls down the straps. He pulls Shawn into an arm drag and then back body drops him to the floor. But Shawn goes on top and goes for the cross body to the floor and hits almost like the one he used to do to Bret Hart and whatnot. Both guys up on the apron trying to get back in the ring. Kurt jumps up behind him, goes for a German suplex off the apron, which would be absolutely devastating. He teased this a couple times. I don't think he ever actually hit it, but he used to tease it a lot. Trying to pull him off the apron. But Shawn, while the referee is looking up, hits a low blow to Kurt Angle. So getting that foot up there, and the crowd boos. Sean for this low blow, for these dirty tactics. Sean then kicks Angle onto the table. He's laying on there, and then Sean with a huge springboard crossbody, twisting in midair, landing on Angle on top of the table, but it does not break. The table, stays intact, but still a very cool spot as he just squashes Angle on the table from the springboard. Both guys have a bloody mouth, I'm assuming from some of the different elbows and a couple of shots here and there, but still a cool visual. Sean back in the ring, chops, right hands, some flying forearms, hits his little combo, the flying forearm, the kip up, the atomic drop and whatnot. Finally goes to the top rope, hits the big elbow drop, and he's ready to tune up the band. He's ready to put Angle away here. But as he goes for the sweet chin music, Angle grabs him, pulls him into the ankle lock. Crowd goes crazy for this as he's got Sean locked up really tight here in this ankle lock. Angle's holding tight even through a couple of counters. Sean's trying to roll through, roll backwards and forwards. Angle's still hanging on. He finally reaches the ropes, and the crowd boos Sean going the ropes again. They're fully on Kurt Angle's side now and want to see him beat Sean here. Angle goes for the Angle Slam, but Sean blocks that, but gets pulled right back into the ankle lock. But Sean pulls him into a roll-up out of the ankle lock for a 2 count. Sean once again goes for the super kick, but Angle blocks that, hooks him up, and hits an Angle Slam out of nowhere. It's a really nice back and forth, just a couple of nice counters, ending with the Angle Slam. Great sequence. Angle goes up to the top rope, goes for the moonsault, which always looks amazing. Holy shit, he hits a picture-perfect moonsault, but unfortunately there's nobody home. Sean's able to roll forward and avoid that one, so he misses that. Sean then goes to the top rope, but Angle out of nowhere runs up to the top, hits an Angle Slam off the top rope. Crowd goes crazy. 1, 2, but no, at the last second Sean's able to kick out. Huge reaction, great near fall there. Crowd's on their feet, just going crazy for this. Kurt Angle grabs Sean by the hair. He's just yelling at him, "Die, you son of a bitch, tap out, and I'm gonna make you quit." But Sean takes a step back, sweet chin music out of nowhere, kicks Angle, just kicks his head off. But there's a delay in the pin as Sean can't quite reach over to get the pinfall. Eventually gets his arm over. 1, 2, and a last minute just barely kicks out. Does Kurt Angle. Sean goes to pick up Angle, but he's playing possum. He hooks on the ankle lock once again. Sean is kind of panicking here. He's right in the middle of the ring. He rolls out. Angle able to hold on. Fighting for the ropes, fighting for this rope, fighting for that rope. It goes on for like 2 minutes, just fighting. Angle finally grapevines the legs, takes him down to the center of the ring. Sean is crawling and reaching. This goes on for like 3 minutes, but not in a boring way. It's great. He's fighting, and at the last second, as he's about to grab the ropes, he taps out, and Shawn Michaels has tapped out to the ankle lock. I wrote, "Holy shit, this fucking match is still great. Goddamn you, Dave Meltzer. This is a 5-star banger. Go fuck yourself." This match is awesome. This match rules. This is just great. Everything just looks crisp and clean. These guys had amazing chemistry. It's just textbook wrestling at the beginning. Amazing counter sequences throughout the whole thing, building up to some awesome high spots, hitting the finishers when they need to hit, and yeah, the whole sequence at the end where Sean's trying to fight out of the ankle lock for literally like 2-3 minutes. It's great drama. Crowd goes nuts. Fucking awesome match. Jacob, do you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is one of my favorite WrestleMania matches. Mm-hmm. Definitely my favorite match of this card. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, these two obviously two of the best, and yeah, you put them in the ring like you knew this was going to be gold. And yeah, that end sequence I still think is one of my favorite just ending sequences to any match. Is he going to like, and if he does, like, how's the rest of the match going to go? Like, how's he going to be able to walk on that and do anything? Right. You know, especially when your finishing maneuver is a kick. So, yeah, it was great. I think it was, easily. Well, maybe not easily.
The Money in the Bank match is really good too. It's very entertaining, but this is still match of the night. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And honestly, a match of the year candidate as well.
Like, for sure.
Yeah, when you get to the end of 2005. But well, I mean, it had some competition with. It's the same year as the Unbreakable 3 TNA. So had some competition, for sure. But still, it's in the conversation. Absolutely. But Richie.
This match rules. Both guys had great chemistry. Fantastic match. Yeah, definitely 5 stars. I don't get what else says. And just I've said it before, but Angle he doesn't hit it that often, but Angle has the best moonsault. He does. It looks so graceful. It's so crisp. Yeah, it does. It looks amazing. And yeah, just the way the agility just like springs up the ropes too, and then the angle slam, just great. And yeah, just it. I mean, it does puzzle me sometimes. Where like the only person who went to cheat was Shawn Michaels as baby days, but yeah, it was. But it was you know, it still I think it added to the match, and the fact. Yeah, I think this is a banger, and all-time WrestleMania sort of classic, and by two of the best of all time. And I know they're inducting matches now, Hall of Fame. I mean, I think if they're going to, that's probably something we can talk about. And they're inducting Austin and Brett and the match in the Hall of Fame. This could be consideration.
Is it just? I'm unclear. Is it just WrestleMania matches, or is it just matches in general?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually.
I don't think they made that clear with the announcement of the Stone Cold Bret Hart thing. Like, I know that's a Mania match, so it makes sense, but I don't think they made it clear if they're just inducting Mania matches or they inducted just matches.
Like, it was just matches, but although if it was just matches, then people could be in Hall of Fame class like 10, 12 times over, especially like people like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. But this match is not like all-time classic. One of my favorite matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah, for sure. JPO, any thoughts on this match? Obviously, a pretty famous match here.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say before any kind of fun facts, I also do want to just shower this match with some love. I'm a big Shawn Michaels fan, and Kurt Angle's killing it this time too. I love his match with Brock. Him and Eddie is really fun, and this one's fantastic. There really aren't any stakes other than let's have two great wrestlers have a great match.
Why not?
Go. Like it's Mania. They get a good amount of time here, 28 minutes. They get almost here. Yeah. They would have one more big pay-per-view match a couple months later at Vengeance. That one with Shawn winning. That one also 27-minute match.
We reviewed that show because we reviewed that match on here, which I had forgotten about. But yeah, that match is really good. So not quite as good as this one, but it's still very, very good. Very good match.
No, I mean, both nearly 30 minutes. They're well over 25, so that's great. And their last one would be on Monday Night Raw. That one only given 13 minutes in January of 2006. Then Kurt Angle would go to TNA. By the time Angle was back, Shawn was kind of done.
Yeah. So, no more.
It's also the time of the build-up. I should have mentioned the build-up was fun because he did this thing of Sherry Martel. I'm just a sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt.
Well, and also that was the famous.
I'll make your ankles hurt.
Well, also JPO, wasn't that also the famous where Kurt Angle wrestled Marty Jannetty and Jannetty almost got signed again? Like they had a great match on SmackDown.
He might have even been signed. Yeah, Jannetty got he fucked his chance over twice. There's the Rockers reunion where they fight like La Resistance. And then there's the Angle match,
because they kind of built it by Angle fighting his old partner, but Jannetty was so good in that match they wanted to sign him again, but he screwed it up somehow with something. He messed it up.
I think that was the time where they didn't even wish him good in his future endeavors. They indicated they were pissed.
Yeah, that is before this. Yeah, March 15th. Another one too, 18 minutes. Even that match was given time. Yeah,
given time. Yeah, no, I remember that match being really good. So good stuff here. Moving right along. I'll breeze through these next couple of ones just for time's sake, because there's not a lot to talk about in these 6 segments. But we do get Piper's Pit coming back here at WrestleMania with special guest Stone Cold Steve Austin. So once again, like Jacob said, Piper getting inducted this year, but also having Piper's Pit here, getting involved in the show. It's both guys. They slap each other, but eventually say, I like you too. They're giving Piper the what treatment, but he plays around with it and is like, what? Are you deaf? Oh, you don't understand? Am I talking too fast for you? That sort of thing. He plays around with it a little bit, and eventually just all you have to do to break is just talk faster. Just don't stop. Don't do the pauses. If you don't do the pauses, they can't do the what chant. But people play into that. So
it is annoying that 20 years later it's still a thing.
Still a thing. Yeah, it's still a thing. I mean, this was still fairly fresh to when he was doing it, but yes. They go back and forth for a little bit. I had to do some math here. Piper claims that he was antagonizing Vince McMahon when Stone Cold was in diapers. That is false. Incredibly false.
I feel like their timelines aren't too far off.
Piper's only 10 years older than Stone Cold. He's not that much older than him. So I had a weird realization with 3 different wrestlers on the show. I just turned 39. I'm the same age as JBL on this show, the same age as Stone Cold on this show, and the same age as The Undertaker on this show. That's weird. That's very weird. So anyways, but yeah, that is patently false because that means he claims he was antagonizing Vince McMahon at 10 years old. That's not true. So Piper's math is a little off there. But anyways, Carlito interrupts. He comes out, claims that neither guy is cool, and him having a WrestleMania moment is cool. But Piper grabs his apple, spits it into Carlito's face. Carlito attacks Piper. Austin kind of watches and laughs for a second, at Piper getting beat down here, but eventually steps in, throws Carlito in the corner, stomps a mud hole into him, throws him into Piper. Piper eye pokes him, and then Stone Cold stuns Carlito. They have a beer bash, but of course, don't ever drink a beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin, especially WrestleMania, because Austin eventually stuns Piper as well. You'll always get stunned if you drink beer with Stone Cold. Don't ever do that.
WrestleMania 17.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the whole segment. Anybody have any thoughts on this? It's fun for what it is, but it's just there.
It's just a segment to get them on the show. That's what it is.
It's a segment to get them on the show and to have the crowd cool down a little bit after the Shawn Michaels match, pretty much. I mean, so it is what it is. It's fun. Again, fun in a vacuum. It's fine. It's entertaining. Both these guys are entertaining.
Yeah, age better than the Hogan thing.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like egregious about this one aging or anything like that. It's just Stone Cold and Piper just yapping back and forth. But we get to definitely the low point of the show, and what I forgot was on this show, unfortunately, as Akibono makes his entrance to the ring, and I went, oh shit, oh god damn it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh shit, the sumo thing. Fuck. Forgot about that. The show was almost amazing. So, I mean, it still is really good, but goddamn, I forgot about this. But yeah, Akibono makes his way to the ring, whereas we're gonna have a sumo match here, Akibono versus the Big Show. So they even have a sumo referee. They take the ropes down. They lay out the ring kind of like a sumo ring with the circle. The object is that when you got to either knock your opponent off their feet or throw them out of the ring. Fuck, did they stall forever? Oh my god, this takes forever to get going. They do this ceremonious crap. They go to their corners. They throw salt all over the ring. They get to the middle. They pose. They go back and do the salt thing again. They pose again. They square off again. Fuck me, this goes on forever. Way too damn long.
And the crowd doesn't give a shit.
Crowd does not give a shit about this whatsoever. They're chanting boring. They're so over this already. Crowd is booing and it's boring. They finally kind of start the match. They're just kind of slapping and shoving each other, eventually just run into each other a couple of times with shoulder blocks. They grab each other's outfits there, and eventually Big Show they break off. Big Show just raises his hand saying he's going to choke slam Akibono. Honestly, if he had done that, it would have been better. He just, I don't know, just grabbed Akibono and just choke slammed him. That would have been fun. But that's not what happens, because Akibono grabs him, switches position, and throws Big Show out of the ring. Akibono wins your sumo match. Does anybody give a fuck? Can we just move on? This sucked. It's fucking terrible.
Big Show is quite loyal to the company because he stayed there for quite a while. I know, we'll get to that, but God, they give him some crap to do. And Big Show wearing it in sumo gear is not something I wanted to see.
I did not need to see that because and they keep zooming in on it with the camera. I did not need to see Big Show's ass in this sumo thong thing. I did not need to see that. And it's just the crowd doesn't give a shit. This is it goes on forever. It goes on for 12 fucking minutes or something. You could have, again, I want to put on something, JPO. We talk about this all the time. No tag team representation on the show. Couldn't have a tag team match here instead of this.
Yeah.
Come on, something, tag team representing some other match, something.
I think that's why I when you first said this pay-per-view, I'll be honest with you, I was like, why 21? Because I thought of the Hemi and this first for Sadly. Because I remember it just being there's really a couple of major throwaways, as well as some great stuff, obviously, that we have talked about. But yeah, that's why it's a mixed mania for me here. Because this is just, it's a waste of time. It's again, the shenanigans around it are longer than the actual bullshit match, which is not a match. I don't need a sumo match in Mania. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, it's silly. I think the actual match goes a minute according to Wikipedia. Once they actually start, it's whatever. It takes forever.
You can have a sumo match, maybe do it earlier manias. Have one with Earthquake back in the day. He could actually do sumo. It might have been in the same. Don't do it with a big
No,
toe.
no, it still would have been boring. Get the.
Still
I don't
boring.
tune into wrestling for sumo. I tune
Yeah.
into wrestling.
Yeah, what's the same with like
Called sumo
a couple
wrestling.
of WrestleManias? The same with a couple of WrestleManias that have had like boxing matches. I don't want to watch boxing. I want to watch
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not here for boxing.
Jesus.
If I want to watch boxing pay-per-views, I watch a boxing pay-per-view. Watch all boxing.
Yes.
I don't want to. This is wrestling.
Or the wrestling matches that try to be like do
Fake MMA, like the Ronda Rousey shit.
like
Yeah,
Ronda
just-
Rousey
You
shit.
can. That's the only one I'll almost defend. Like I like that weird like Owen Hart Shamrock Dungeon match. That was kind of cool. And the pit fight in NXT with like Riddle and Thatcher was kind of cool. So it depends.
yeah, but no boxing.
'Cause
I
at
don't
least
need
those are
boxing
actual
gloves.
fights. At
Yeah, I
least
don't
those
need
are
box.
fights.
I don't need fake boxing matches and shit. Like I don't need this.
Yeah,
and sumo
no.
matches. No, fuck that. So, anyways,
Uh,
moving on.
Real quick though, Pez, I just
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Go
I
ahead.
just want to throw out the only other SmackDown wrestling matches was on SmackDown a couple of weeks prior or a few days prior. He defeated Fast Eddie, the blind wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Akibono. Akibono's only
Akibono.
other singles match, or I guess really his only
Okay.
singles match if you don't count the sumo thing. And then
Yeah.
him and Big Show would team at a Japan house show, defeating Carlito and Matt Morgan a couple months later, and that is the entire WWE run of Akibono. We wrestled a lot in Japan, but again, I feel like just kind of like a feature guy. If you look at his match listings, it's like 90% tag 6-man. So
It's like
tag
a
him into a couple
showcase
big guy
thing.
things.
He comes in, does one
Yeah,
or two
yeah.
things, and that's it. Yeah.
And he would unfortunately, he did unfortunately pass away last year too. By the way.
Yeah, he
Okay.
passed away. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, our semi-main event of the evening. We finally get to one of our two heavyweight title matches here. Yes, we have your champion John Bradshaw Layfield in his limo, making his way to the ring with police escort, taking on John Cena, challenging for the title here. Yeah, I mean, John Cena's still like he's a babyface here, but he's still kind of got that Doctor of Thugonomics edge to him a little bit. He's still wearing the chains and the jerseys and whatnot, so he's still kind of like, not full on like superhero John Cena yet. He's kind of still he's like babyface Doctor of Thugonomics essentially is what he is right here. But he does have his brand new theme music. The Time Is Now, which is they mentioned is like his new single. So this is right around the time he started using it. So interesting, kind of parallel to today where we're asking for potentially new music with this. So a nice little.
We ain't getting it.
No, we ain't getting it. And parallel to today as well, John Cena 20 years later challenging for the WWE Championship against a champion who's held it for over a year. So another weird parallel there to today. But yes, we got John Cena versus JBL here. Yeah, we start out with some lockups. Bradshaw hits a shoulder block. Cena hits a shoulder block. JBL with a running tackle, kind of just slugging Cena a lot, clubbing him in the back. Hits two swinging neck breakers for a 2 count, choking Cena on the ropes a little bit. It's not a very long match. It's like a 13-minute match, so it's not very long. But Cena fights back, but JBL eventually hits a big spine buster for a 2 count, hits another neck breaker for a 2 count, boots Cena in the face, kind of stomps him a little bit. Cena's over in the corner. JBL hits a couple of avalanche clotheslines in the corner. Again, really taking kind of most of this match. Pulls him in for a short arm lariat for a 2 count, a long sleeper hold in the middle of the ring for an already bored crowd that was already bored with this match and not super into it, really until the end. Back suplex has both men down. They do a double clothesline, kind of double takedown spot. 7 minutes into this match, they're already doing like the double downs. You know what I mean? For the 10 count. Both guys roll out to the floor. JBL hits a neck breaker on the floor again, going back to the neck breakers. JBL inside the ring sets Cena on the top rope, hits a superplex, but only gets a 2 count. I wrote crowd is super dead right now. This is kind of awkward. JBL goes up to the top rope, but Cena catches him coming off the top rope into a power slam, and then this is like every Cena match ever because he just fires up with some clotheslines, hits his 5 moves of doom, the shoulder tackle, the hip toss, the spinning slam, 5-knuckle shuffle. He hits in the middle of the ring. JBL tries to counter the FU into a clothesline from hell, but Cena ducks it, hits 1 FU. 1, 2, 3, your new champion, John Cena, just like that. I feel like this is the template for every Cena match we would get for the next 20 years, where it's like, in the meaning, and what I mean is that the opponent beats the shit out of Cena for like 80% of the match, and then Cena hits his moves at the end and just wins. You know what I mean? Like that was most of the matches why a lot of people got bored. And this match is that. It's 100% a TV match. This is like SmackDown level match. This is not WrestleMania worthy. It's like 13 minutes. Crowd is dead. Cena again, 1FU. He wins. I'm happy for John Cena. You know, he obviously won the title here and would eventually go to Raw in the draft. Not too long after this, switch brands and debut the spinner belt. But not much else to say here. Jacob, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good match. But is it, does it live up to some of the other matches we saw on the card? Is it worthy of being like that big title match? I think Cena winning it's cool. Like in retrospect, like this was a with the main event kind of passing of the torch and ushering in this new era. So it's cool in that respect. But the match quality leaves a little bit to be desired. But a cool moment seeing Cena win his first title.
Yeah, JPO. Anything for us on this one? As Richie's doing a little occupied right now.
Yeah, no doubt. So this would be the end of JBL's one and only reign. 280-day reign, though, so decent reign for JBL. And as for this particular title, this is the first of 13 for John Cena. 3 more for the big gold and whatnot, to get to that 16. But yeah. Otherwise, I remember the match in that one I'd go back to often. It is like you said, that very templated match. And JBL was also not necessarily always the most spectacular wrestler himself. Better character than wrestler in my mind too.
Yeah, no, he cut good promos and stuff around this time, but his actual matches.
He got good heat, but
the matches were never very good during the title run. Yeah, all of his main event matches. I think the most memorable stuff was him and Eddie. I think had the best of the bunch.
They had the best matches, but otherwise his reigns very forgettable match-wise. Even then, the matches were fine.
The Judgment Day one is the most memorable, just because remember the gusher Eddie hit when he cut himself and just bled all over the damn place. Yeah, it's really just remembered because of how bloody the match was, kind of inadvertently, but still, not like a great Bradshaw match, but yeah. So but Cena does get the win, and he is your new champion. We get our quick Hall of Fame showcase here. I mean, sorry, Richie. There's not much to say about John Cena.
I'm sort of concur with you. It's just like not like it just seems weird that given his title run, and he would kick out of a lot of like impactful moves that one FU kind of did him in, and I feel like I don't know if their time got cut or I don't know. This felt a bit anticlimactic, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel like I don't know. It was a bit of a dud, and I'm glad that Cena would have better matches going forward. But this is definitely the template of Cena matches going forward. But they work better in going forward. But this is quite boring and lackluster end to a 10-month like nearly a year title run.
We get our Hall of Fame showcase here with our Mean Gene introducing our 7 stars who go into Hall of Fame. I've got first Nikolai Volkov. Then you got the Iron Sheik with his awesome music. I always love the Iron Sheik's music. That music's great. That's great stuff. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, as we saw earlier, Cowboy Bob Orton in this Hall of Fame class, Jimmy Hart and his megaphone, Roddy Piper, and of course Hulk Hogan, your headliner for this Hall of Fame class. Not much to say there. They come out, they get their entrances. There you have it. This was sort of the tradition of this is one of the first of the showcase ones where they're doing a Mania where they actually bring the people out. They weren't doing that very much before this, and they would come like a regular thing after this. So this is one of the earlier ones that did that. We move on to our main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight title. We got Batista taking on your champion Triple H, and of course this was the that slow burn build out. Honestly, some of the better long-term storytelling they did around this time, where it was like a 6-month thing or something, where Batista was always getting kind of antagonized by Triple H, a little side passive aggressive comments, them talking about his back, to where crowd was kind of slowly getting behind Batista. He was super over when it came time for the Royal Rumble. He wins the Royal Rumble, and then of course they built to where Triple H was kind of manipulate him. Hey, go win the SmackDown title, and then Evolution will rule, Raw and SmackDown, and then of course, you get that contract sighting where he did the thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, power bombs Triple H through the table. And then we got our main event here for WrestleMania. This is the infamous Triple H Motorhead entrance where Lemmy was drunk and forgot all the lyrics to the game's music.
Yeah, he just repeated himself over again.
He's just saying words. It's all about the game. It's all about the plan. It's all about the game. It's all about the game. And it's just he's just kind of mumbling and not quite doing it. But even then, it's Lemmy. It's Motorhead. It's still kind of awesome because it's still Motorhead. But he 100% did not know the lyrics to the song as he's playing it and just kind of making it up as he goes along. But it's still, again, a cool entrance. Triple H still coming out to Motorhead, so still all right. But yeah, so and Batista still had his old music here, just to note the old kind of
his old music's still cool. I like his old music.
No, his old music is cool, but I believe he would get the new music, the I Stand Alone stuff, not long after this, yeah. But yeah, he still had his old music. Still cool though. So both guys have a face off in the middle of the ring. They have a long kind of lockup all over the ring, ends with a stalemate. Batista hits a shoulder block off an Irish whip. Triple H goes for the pedigree early, but Batista press slams him over his head and gorilla press slams him instead. Batista works on Triple H over in the corner, hits a big back body drop. Batista goes for a clothesline, but Hunter hits the high knee instead and knocks him to the outside. While Flair's on the outside as well, again, accompanying Triple H in this match. He distracts Batista for a second, enough for Hunter to throw him into the steps and stop his momentum. Hits some elbows on the way inside the ring. Chokes Batista in the corner a little bit inside the ropes. He then distracts the referee, and Flair gets his own chokes in, kind of cheating behind the referee's back here. Batista out on the outside again gets thrown into the barricade and the apron. A couple of knees to the back. Triple H really starting to work on the back of Batista here with some clubs and some stomps. Suplex on the inside for two, a backbreaker. Again, Flair chokes Batista kind of under the ropes while the referee's turned. As Jim Ross, of course, always freaks out about that. God, this isn't a handicap match. Oh, damn it. What the hell's going on? Get Flair out of there, referee. What are you doing? Jim Ross, of course, having a fit here. But Batista gets hung out on the top rope to the floor, but back in. So he tries to fight back with some right hands here. So he fights back a little bit, but gets caught in a Triple H spine buster for another 2 count. Hunter once again goes for the pedigree, but Batista back body drops him into a counter. But Triple H quickly back up and hits a face buster as he does into the knee for a 2 count. So Triple H still trying to hang on to the momentum here of Batista. Hunter goes up to the top ropes, goes for an axe handle, but Batista lariats him on the way down. Looked a little sloppy, a little off time, but still you get the idea. Batista eventually hits a sidewalk slam for 2.
He goes for a top rope, nothing, because he's never gone.
Well, I think he does at least go into axe handle position, so he wasn't.
Okay.
Batista wasn't laying on the ground. Batista was standing. Theoretically, it could be a double axe handle. So the ones that look stupid are the one where the guy's laying down and he comes off with an axe handle to a grounded opponent. That makes no sense.
What were you planning to do?
So at least Batista was standing when he did it, and it made sense for him to lariat at the time. Yeah. So Batista hits a sidewalk slam for a 2, fighting back here. He throws Triple H into the corner, but runs into a boot. Triple H tries a Irish whip, but Triple H gets whipped instead and does that bump where he goes over the top rope, kind of back first, all the way to the floor. Always looked really nasty when he would do that. Batista on the outside whips Triple H into the stairs, but Triple H is able to fight back here. He whips Batista into another set of stairs, but he sets up the stair base, like he separates the 2 pieces of the stairs. He goes up and looks like he's going to pedigree him on the steel steps, but Batista hooks up Hunter for a catapults him into the post, as obviously Triple H, as he's about to get catapulted, pulls a Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 20, gushes the shit out of himself, and goes into the post. He is busted open, bleeding all over the place. Back in the ring, Batista's clubbing Hunter in the head, really trying to kind of break him back, break that wound open, booting him in the back of the head. He hits a couple of heavy clotheslines in the corner. One that looked really nasty, where Hunter kind of stepped stepped out of the corner and he clotheslined him. That looked really nasty coming out of there. He hits an over-the-shoulder power slam, but still only gets a 2 count. And outside the ring, Batista nails Ric Flair, taking him kind of out of this match. Hunter goes to grab a chair, but Mike Chioda like leaps off the apron and like grabs the chair. I was like, God damn, Mike Chioda, like you're taking a risk there, trying to really go get that chair out of Hunter's hands. Kind of hurts himself in the process.
That's a bigger risk than like just telling Ric Flair to leave. You know what I mean? He's doing anything to not. You couldn't tell Ric Flair like, hey, like I guess it's fine if we do that way, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's just
he's able to wrestle the chair away from Hunter there. But back inside the ring, Flair grabs the title belt while the referee is still down on the outside. But he gets spine busted in the middle of the ring. But the title belt is still in the ring. That's important because Hunter then grabs the belt and waffles Batista with it. But the referee back in, Batista's able to kick out at 2. The match is not over yet. Hunter charges at Batista, but he hits this big standing spine buster right in the middle of the ring. Batista goes for the Batista bomb, but while the referee still kind of wobbly and down, Hunter hits a low blow. That dastardly Hunter Hearst Helmsley, low blowing Batista. He hooks the arms, goes for a pedigree once again, but Batista fights his arms out of the pedigree. He hits what looks like kind of an air raid crash, like a Celtic cross. I think it was meant to be like a side slam, but he almost kind of pulls him into like a Celtic cross kind of a thing, hits in the middle of the ring. He then looks up at the crowd, gives the thumbs up, gives the thumbs down, and lays out Triple H with a Batista bomb right in the center of the ring for the 1, 2, 3. So your winner and new world heavyweight champion is Batista here in the main event of WrestleMania 21. A solid main event. Triple H, sold his ass off for Batista. Batista looked kind of strong in the end, overcoming all the odds against him. Is it like the greatest, main event ever? No, but it did its job and showcasing Batista. This was the big feud of the time that should have main event of the match, the show, and it did. It did its job, and it's a solid, sports entertainment WWE main event. But Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if we ever do like best babyface turns, like it's in the T-Rex style or however we do it. Like Batista's face turn will be up there. I love that baby face turn. I think it's just the build to it was fantastic, and I think Batista solidified himself as a star. And I thought this match was well done. I think Batista looked good, considering he hadn't been in wrestling even that long before coming to WWE. So that I think given his late start in wrestling and everything sort of working against him, I think it's a cool story. And I think he ended up being a pretty damn good wrestler, in my opinion. And I thought this match was good. Had a lot of emotion to it, and sort of worked the crowd up a little bit from that. From Cena and JBL there. I think it was it concluded with a decent title run there. Certainly the better WrestleMania matches that these two have had. So I'm sure JBL will get into.
Yeah, I think they had a better match a couple months later. I think Hell in a Cell is a better match, but still we'll talk about that. Jacob Barber.
People to me.
Jordan Owens.
People to me.
What you got? Jacob.
What?
Any thoughts on
Triple H, Batista?
Sorry, I'm tired. Again, much like Cena, it's a new era. I think he was super over with the crowd, and it's a cool moment to end on. Maybe match quality, not the best. That's not there, but cool to end the show with a new champion.
They send the crowd home happy. Batista, that's what the crowd wanted to see. Batista win, beat Triple H's ass. He did, and he won. So sends the crowd home happy. But JPO, what you got for me about this title run here? Yeah,
this is they would rematch at Backlash. Batista would win. They would then have a rematch, Hell in a Cell at Vengeance. Batista would win, and then that would be their last pay-per-view match until fighting. And Batista's last match ever at WrestleMania 35 when he finally give me what I want, got what he wanted. That actually would be very
when he forgot his lines, but turned it into a fun moment with the "Give me what I want, give me what I want,
what I want.
give me what I want." Yeah, it's good stuff.
That would be that was in April of 2019, and then actually Triple H was not far behind. Unfortunately, we would find out he only had one more televised match after that Batista match. Him and Randy Orton fought at Super Showdown 2019 in Saudi. Randy Orton won that, and then in June later that month he would have two house show matches in Japan. That would end up being, unbeknownst to everyone, his last matches ever. His last match will go down as him and Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Samoa Joe and Bobby Roode. I kind of want to see that match, because we never got to televise like Triple H versus Roode and Joe match. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's something. Unfortunately, just due to with the heart issues, right, and him having to, not
he
being
was
able to anymore.
Not even like during a match or anything. Just it happened one day, and obviously that's not something you can fuck with. Yeah.
I think he's doing just fine though. He is behind the scenes and very happy with his.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't much more to check off the bucket list.
Yeah, what else is he gonna do?
Pretty content.
I'm pretty sure he's got to retire anyway. Yeah,
he wouldn't last much longer regardless, but still. I'm sure he wishes he could have one or two more matches here or there. Probably, if he could have, he probably would have had some kind of retirement match officially. You know what I mean? Not some house show thing.
Yeah.
But
he probably would have done some more Manias and Saudis. We get that money.
Oh, I'm sure. But he's doing all right now.
The only thing I was going to add, I forgot. That was like Simpson. I think the Sammy Callahan has stolen that thumbs up, thumbs down gimmick. He does the full of cactus pile drive. He goes thumbs up, thumbs down. But yeah, I don't know if it's inspired by this, but yeah, he just does it.
Well, Jacob, your final thoughts on WrestleMania 21, and what would you give it out of 10, sir, if you had to rate it?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. I thought it started off really strong. We had a great opener, great Money in the Bank. First match. Undertaker and Randy Orton is really good. Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, potential match of the year candidate there. Cool moment with Cena and Batista winning the titles, kind of starting this new era. Low points though, the Eugene stuff. Hulk Hogan, the sumo match, it was cool to see Piper and Austin in the ring together. That was a cool moment. I think I'd give like a 7 out of 10.
All right, Richie.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a bit higher, just because I think the highlights are so I kind of etched in WrestleMania sort of history as like quite a big highlight. So they sort of outweigh the lowlights here. With like Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Randy Orton, really good. The first Money in the Bank, and the changing of the guard with like new stars on top. But yeah, I mean, like I can't ignore the fact that the sumo match is WrestleCrat worthy, and the Chris Hero match is not much better. So yeah, but I'd probably give it like a solid like 8. I think. If you've got like an all timer on there, I can't give you like a low score. So yeah, I'd give you an 8. So yeah.
Yeah. JPO, any overall thoughts on Mania 21 from the time you've seen it?
Yeah, I'll probably be more towards Barber. Just when you got a couple duds, like true duds, and then a couple other ones too that are ranging in that kind of 2-star territory. So the good outweighs it, so it's still worth watching. But I'm probably at a 7 solid.
I'm probably more towards Richie, because I think you got 2 legitimate matches on these that were like WWE Match of the Year candidates. Because I would throw the Money in the Bank one as like one of those like potential WWE Match of the Year candidates, as well as the obvious Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels. I think you have a great opener here. I think Undertaker, Randy Orton's one of the better like Taker Mania matches. Like it'd be in the upper half of those Taker Mania matches. And yeah, you end the show on a very high note with a solid Batista Triple H match. I think like, sure, you have, a couple of dud things, but it's sandwiched in between really good stuff. And like the show itself, just when I watched it, was very breezy, very entertaining. Like I was never really like bored per se. Like, I mean, the low point is the sumo stuff, but it's just like a product of, whatever. This is just a bizarre, Vince McMahon shit, but it's still, it's something to watch. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like you're just like, yeah. Yeah. And then the Piper's Pit stuff is entertaining. Like I thought this was a really easy to watch WrestleMania, and the highs are very, very high. So I'd go in like an 8 territory. I really like this WrestleMania. It's good stuff. So yeah. That was it. I know we went along tonight, but having a little fun and enjoy ourselves. So, yeah. What do you got?
I don't want to do my game real quick.
Oh my god, we got 3 hours, and you want to do another game?
I told you that's what I wanted to do. It was on the docket.
Okay, game.
It's a quick one. It's a quick one.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's get out of the way. I'm trying to do it in 3 weeks. All right.
Okay.
So, at one point, we all talked about going to WrestleMania. We didn't because life sucks and shit's expensive.
Yes.
But we can all go there virtually with our wallets, and let's play a game. You don't have to write it down unless you want to keep track of what other people say. Price is Right rules, just like I teased earlier. I'm going to name things we could have done at WrestleMania, and you tell me how much you think that would cost you. Starting with Jacob Barber.
Well, I might have an advantage on this because I've been to Vegas in the last 2 years, so maybe I'll have an advantage on this.
You might, and also, these are also things that technically could have been looked up at some point just for fun.
Sure.
If you're a nerd. So, best of luck to everybody here. Jacob, at WWE World, how much to get a photo with CM Punk? Again, close not going over. If y'all go over the one that goes over the least.
Like one of those
$2.99.
like one of those professional photo session things. Yeah, like in front of a backdrop.
Yeah, that's an official photo, I believe. Yeah. So $2.99, Pez.
I'm gonna go $1 higher, $300.
And Richie.
I'm not going to be a dick and go 301. I'll go.
I'm going based on how shit fucking is expensive at like Comic Cons for like a Kevin Spacey picture. It's got to be something up.
Yeah, maybe go with an even 100 would have been.
Yeah.
I'll go 320.
Barber will get it. You all overdid it a little bit here. Only 170 to get just a photo. Again, no autograph. One photo with CM Punk. 170.
That's only $20 more than Jonathan Majors was charging for a photo with him at that convention I went to.
At least the photo's not
right.
too bad.
All
Hey,
right.
Pez. I love you, Pez. How much for a photo with Jacob Fatu?
It's probably less pricey than CM Punk, I'll say. So I'll just go $100. A cool $100.
Cool Hundy. Richie?
120.
Fuck you.
120 and Jacob.
125.
Again, you're all overdoing it, but Pez will get it because he overdid it the least. $90. $90 bucks for a Jacob Fatu photo.
Okay.
This is your last photo of these questions, and then I'm going to move around.
Okay.
Richie, how much for the champ, Cody Rhodes?
$200.
$200, he says. Jacob.
175.
And Pez.
I'll go slightly more than Richie, because he's the champ and the top guy. I'll say 225.
We are tied up because Richie nailed it. It is $200
That
to
was
get a photo.
That's what I would have guessed.
Too.
That would have what I would have guessed. I would have just said 200. It's like slightly higher than CM Punk, so it's got to be in that range because he's the champ. Yeah, so it's just.
But he's the people's champ. Well, not that people's champ, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Jacob, front row. There's only 10 of these, by the way, so we're ready for it.
Okay.
Front row to TNA Unbreakable pay-per-view.
Mania weekend, is that what that is? Yeah.
Yeah. This is all Mania weekend. All Mania weekend.
Ringside.
This is like a Friday, or I don't remember when. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how expensive TNA would be.
Ballpark in front row.
225.
Pez.
I'll go higher. I'll say 500.
Richie.
No, like TNA's that expensive. I'll go 300.
All right, we're just back to giving Barber a point. We're just going in order. Barber, Pez, Richie, Barber. No, not that bad. It's $150 for front row.
Oh.
$150.
Oh, that's for a pay per
Pez.
view. WrestleMania weekend. Huh.
Yeah, but I think that's also one of the reasons TNA's been selling good too. Is they're not dicks yet.
Okay, because
You know what I'm saying?
AEW charges like $600 for a front row
Yeah.
ticket for some of their shit.
Yeah,
so,
well, again,
yeah.
yeah, a little different level. So you know,
All right.
Pez general admission to Wale Mania.
What's that?
It's like a hip hop concert.
Yeah, the
Yeah, how
rapper
else would you
Wale.
explain it?
Yeah,
It happens every year.
It's
I don't know what that is.
concept of like kind of is it the wrestling kind of it? So yeah,
There's some wrestling songs. Wrestlers would be there to hang out, mingle.
$35.
Richie,
I got $85.
Jacob.
75.
All right, finally, someone went under. Pez gets it, $50.
Okay.
And again, we're literally going in order. So Richie, this should be your point. If we're sticking with how this has gone so far. And it's your turn. GCW Collective has 11 shows. This is sold out, but how much would it have cost you to get front row to all 11 shows? So you're talking Bloodsport, the Spring Break, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, all that stuff. 11 shows front row for GCW.
So combined,
yeah, one flat fee for front row to all 11 shows. Yes.
Okay. 300.
All right, Jacob
500.
and Pez.
That's what I was gonna say. Because I was gonna say probably like $50 a pop for front row. I'll say 550 doing the math.
Pez will get the point and take the slight lead here. $700.
Okay. All right.
It would have cost. Barber. Second row, because first row was sold out. I couldn't find out where and what it was. Second row to Undertaker's One Dead Man show. Fees included. Ticketmaster fees included.
Okay. Well, that adds $50 to the price.
I'm just saying, yeah. If you have to say if that helps you or not, you know.
Holy shit.
Go 150.
Alrighty, and Pez.
Yeah, you figure the ticket. I'll say 120.
And Richie.
200.
Richie gets the point because, guys, I even fact checked this after I'd written it down and moved away from this.
How expensive is this?
Over $850.
Fuck, for a one man just talking show?
For
No,
Undertaker's, and I don't believe that includes a meet and greet. I'm pretty sure that is just attendance.
Then that's
I fact checked. That's one ticket. That is not two tickets. That is one ticket.
That is too fucking expensive.
I believe it's just the show. Unless I'm missing something.
Yeah,
I don't know what even VIP would include. I didn't see anything that said.
I mean, say if it includes like a photo with Taker, autograph shit, VIP, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Even
Ticketmaster just literally said row B, 7 something, and then when you add in the fees, it was well over.
I saw Mick Foley do his stand-up show at the Greenville Comedy Club for like $25.
20? Yeah, exactly.
$25-$30. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
come on, dude. Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
Taker wants that money. All right, who goes first on this next one?
I think Jacob.
All right, Jacob.
Just go Jacob.
All right, sure. Yeah, I don't know. We're forgetting. Jacob, listen to this because this one takes a second. The WrestleCon Super Show High Roller. This includes airport pickup and drop off, 5 nights at the WrestleCon hotel. So you literally sleep, wake up, go down, hang out with wrestlers. A $2,500 High Spots gift card to buy merch that's already there. A personal assistant. 1 free photo and autograph with like anybody, even the bigger ones like a Sting or a Ronda Rousey, whoever you want. Skip all the lines right to the front. Free photo ops with anybody that's under the WrestleCon banner themselves. Everyone has different sponsors. Admission to all days, of course, and a private pool party, which is you and the staff and wrestlers.
$5,000.
$5,000, Pez.
7,500.
75, Richie.
7 grand.
Pez gets it because, guys, y'all undershot what a high roller gets. $25,000.
Who's buying that? Who the fuck is buying
I
that?
don't know.
What is it like the 1%? Are they all wrestling fans?
They even
and
dropped.
so-
They even dropped Hulk Hogan's like sweet party thing by $4,000 because nobody was buying it because it was too expensive.
I do know. So when I was watching all those high spot shows when I was buying stuff for a little while, like there's sometimes they would throw out like crazy things like, you want to work here for a day? Send $1,000 and we'll let you work here for a day. And there'd be one or two crazy fuckers that would do it. So this might be one of those things of like, if no one takes it, cool. If we get 3 to 5 people that do it, awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, if you got
just be
one
like, we'll
person,
see.
one person that did that for
Yeah.
one crazy fucker for 25.
I mean, you are
grand,
getting, like I said, I mean, that's why, like, you are getting over almost 3,000 in gift cards. The 5 nights hotel adds up. That's probably like a $300 a night, you know. But yeah, holy shit.
I do wonder the intention
Pez.
to get that money though. Like, I'm going to sell my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they're just, I don't know. Like most wrestling fans are like us, pretty relatively like, you know, medium, you know, money wise. But like, there's ballers out there that like green shirt guy must have some sort of fucking great job.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or the other guy that was at all the early to mid 2000 shows, the guy with the backwards cap and the fucking what's his name, always in the front row, the guy with the signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still around. I just saw him in like a Macrodona vlog or something. Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah.
Pez, how much to attend a Shawn Michaels? First, he watches a match and discusses it, and then you get a Q&A with Shawn Michaels.
God, given how expensive the fucking Taker thing was, I'm like second guessing myself now. Jesus, just to hear Shawn Michaels talk, I'll say $150.
Alrighty, Richie.
I think that it's more than that. I don't know, man. I think these old school guys they know their worth and they charge up the wazoo. So I'm going $500.
Okay, Jacob. Sorry, I don't laugh.
Is it way more than that? It's got to be way more than that.
I don't know, Jacob.
Now I don't know what that means. I don't know if he was way off, if he went too high, or if he's like way too low. I'm gonna take my chance. Richie, you said 500.
Yeah,
501.
Jacob Barber gets the point. If up to 500, then you need about 12 wazoos for $5,000 to attend this.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
I'm not paying I like Shawn Michaels. I'm not paying you.
Just sit down and hear him talk about a match. Go fuck yourself, Sean.
And then,
Come on.
And like, I bet you they even like moderate the Q&A. You probably can't even ask the question yourself. They're probably like, "What's your question?" All right, I'll ask for you.
$5,000? What?
And want to bet you?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay,
yeah.
Here's the only way that makes sense. Is if it's a thing, a Q&A and a watch along for like 10 people, like in a small room.
Well, I bet you it is limited because the next one actually I do have that info on the next one.
I was gonna say if it's not like the Undertaker thing, at least it's in like a theater, right? Like so it's you can fit a couple hundred people in there. Yeah. The Shawn Michaels thing might be like a very intimate thing. That's the only way I could imagine that is if it was like in a small room with like less than a dozen people.
Even so, I don't pay fucking $5,000 for that.
$5,000, fuck me, dude. Jesus, you could get like front row to WrestleMania for both nights for that money, which would be way more of a value in my opinion. But yeah, anyways,
your final one, I believe we're on Richie. This is lunch with John Cena. This is limited to just 20 people. Plus,
I saw this. I saw this.
Oh, then you can win.
This might not be fair.
This will be held at a 5-star restaurant on the Strip. Lunch with John Cena, 5 stars. Only 20.
I can't remember the exact number, but I'll just say, I know it's huge. I'm gonna say $25,000.
And what you thinking, Jacob Barber?
$15,000.
And Pez.
I'm 99% sure I saw this because Richie took my guess, and I'm pretty sure it's $25,000, like right on the nose.
It is. Yeah, so
I saw this article. Yeah.
Pez will get the technical win here if we're going by points. This was just for fun, though. But Richie and Barber both had 3, and 5 for.
Oh, I know what it was. they mentioned it on like Wrestling Observer Live or something with Alvarez mentioned it.
Oh, yeah?
It was like that. He was like, "Oh, the craziest thing is John Cena like dinner for $25,000." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, like I guess somebody's paying it. I guess I don't know. Sure.
And you got to pay an extra 25 grand for him to talk to you. He just sits
Well,
there.
I was actually saying, how funny would it be if he stayed in character and just like mean mugged you the whole time? Didn't even
And then he
speak?
just because he hates the fans now. So like, would he really even want to talk to you? Or
he just
Why would I
eats
want to
the
have?
sloop very like violently, like
An
assholes.
awkward lunch with a guy who broke up with me. I don't want
Yeah,
that.
why
That
would I
seems
want to have
bad.
lunch with someone who broke up with me?
Oh yeah, I don't have lunch. My ex, yuck.
Yeah.
That's toxicity. Okay.
Yeah.
So those were events that we probably still wouldn't have attended even if we were there.
Hell
Maybe
no.
the photos aren't dreadful. Like I said, that's 200 and 170 for the A-listers, the current A-listers. TNA I felt would have been maybe doable. Even GCW to a degree, but yeah.
No, I mean a lot of what we would have done would have been like general admission.
Yeah.
These do a bunch of indie shows, like would have been what
Yeah.
we probably would have done. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe go to WrestleCon, get whatever you want at WrestleCon. You know, some legends or whatever. Go to that show, shit like that. That's what it would have been. Just like let's get general admission to this GCW show and this Lucha show and this whatever show. You know what I mean? Like that's what it would have been.
I'd be totally in for the seniors better. The seniors.
That's what I mean. I'll go to that show and pay general admission and go watch that show. Like totally fine. Yeah, whatever. Because general admission is probably like what, $25 or something. Not too bad. I'm sure most likely, something like that. So who knows? All right.
Let's wrap this.
Now we can end this marathon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I have to work in the morning. JPO in 20 seconds or less. Where can people find you?
The Pierce Co. Here, bam, boom, shotgun.
Cool. Richie. Same question.
Movies. We just talked about Toy Story 3 on the Movie Hero and all the other trivia spaces that you can find me. Maybe Why We Love Horror, all that jazz. Tournament question ranker.
Pez, same question.
Sorry to interrupt. Invisible Man confirmed for the clusterfuck. Invisible Man confirmed.
Fuck yeah.
Movie Hero Network. Go, Jacob.
Cool. I'm here. This is pretty much the only thing I do online. So cool. We'll be back next week talking AEW Dynasty. We'll review the show and probably do something else.
Jacob won't be here for that though.
I won't be here for the Dynasty.
Right.
I'll be doing comedy somewhere.
I'll leave the Dynasty discussion, and the week after we'll talk about it next week. If you want to send me the details when you finalize, Jacob, I'll tell us what we're doing for that draft.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, because I had a suggestion for your 10th one, and you seemed okay with it. So
I like that idea a little bit more.
All right.
So for JPO, for Richie, for Pez, I'm Jacob. We're lonely. We're Marks. We're lonely Marks.
Bye.
Bye.